Well, well, well. He's only gone and done it, folks. Good to see you all. Welcome. Welcome, he says, to a fine day. A fine day indeed. Of more shenanigans, more Battlefield, and more things. It's good to see you all. Sorry, I have to replace my stream key for my Twitch stream. And I hope you're all having a cracking time of it. I suppose we should play some footage, shouldn't we? Should probably hit play so you guys can see some more exclusive BF6 footage from the venue, live and direct. A week is a long time. A week is a bloody long time, isn't it? Feels like a lot's happened. Good to see you all, guys. Good to see you all. Welcome to another fine day. Today we're just going to show some more footage off. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A of Battlefield 6, talk about the game, talk about the experience in LA. Figured I'd let you guys ask some questions, have a chat. A lot's changed for me over the past week. You know, I've been pumping out videos left, right, and center, like like it's going out of fashion. So that's been fun. I also have switched to an iPhone, which wasn't on my bingo card, but the MacBook was so good that I needed airdropping. We do have a settings video on the way. It is coming, as you can clearly see during this entire event. As you're currently watching, I spent most of my time on the first day just tweaking my settings. I literally just went, right, okay, so I'm going to try that, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to try that, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to try that. And I've got there in the end. I've got some good settings. The settings do need work, i.e. the actual controller settings that Battlefield give you need work. And Dream, thank you very much for the Tactical King membership, by the way. So, you know, it's one of those things where, the settings I'll give you will be great. They'll probably change again at launch. But for now, you'll definitely have the best settings available to you. This was captured on PC. I was using a PS5 controller because, for reasons, you know, I think it's safe to say if you haven't figured out those reasons yet. I think we know who might be marketing the next Battlefield game, guys. You know what I mean? Proximity chat, I don't believe so. It does have team chat. You know, there's conversations around what that might look like. I'm sure there might be proxy chat for the VR. How noob-friendly would this be? Fairly noob-friendly. I don't think, you know, if you're somebody who has never played a Battlefield game before, I don't think you're going to be immediately in the trenches. Hey, thank you very much, Simon. I appreciate you. How's the battle chatter and the in-game audio? The battle chatter and the in-game audio was bloody unreal. Some of the battle chatter probably needs a little bit more, but you do hear guys screaming stuff. The in-game audio, though, probably some of the best I've seen in any first-person shooter.
We've lost objective Delta.
It's a great question, David. That's a really important question. I'll have to speak to my analysts. Did they give you any roadmap? No, no kind of roadmaps or anything like that. We know that launch is coming. I'm sure around launch they will start detailing what post-launch is going to look like. Running around my paddles. By the way, I found out this when I was at the event. So if you tap somebody with the paddles, you instantly revive them. If you charge your paddles, you can revive up to 3 people in quick succession. Which is kind of mad, really. I didn't know that was a thing. But that is absolutely a thing. You can effectively just go doosh, doosh, doosh. Sergeant Dodgy, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate you. How many gigs of footage did I capture? All in all, I captured... Good luck. 190 gig of footage. 190 gig. Do you think the game feels a bit too safe? I don't think so. Will there be 120 FPS on PS5? I don't think it's 120, but it's definitely over 60. They do have a performance mode that hits over 60, and they will be releasing a PlayStation 5 Pro variant of this that will get more out of it. So if you have a PS5 Pro, you actually will get like a little upgrade, if you will. Oh, by the way, folks, in the bottom right corner, if you notice this, it's actually one of my favorite little things. I'm going to just rewind this. In the bottom right corner, it's probably my favorite thing in the world. They have body cams on the spawn screen. It's actually really cool. Really, really cool. Like, they've basically attached the camera the camera for the player on the shoulder. It's really, really sick. No one's asking critical questions. How many energy drinks have you down to keep content coming? Dude, honestly, I'm a mess. I'm a total mess. Like, my body's still kind of recovering from the jet lag. Like, I think I beat most of it. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, like, you know, I've beaten most of it, but it's still, like, taking a little while. Like, by the end of this week, I should be fine. I've already made a conscious decision now. Like, I'm going to the gym, but I'm not doing any, like, contact sports or anything for the time being because I just need to be locked in. Someone said 89 FPS in performance. That sounds about right. I think you'll get more on the PS5 Pro, though. How was servers and hit detection? We were playing on a LAN experience, to the best of my knowledge. So I can't give you a full information packet on that, so to speak. That being said, I can tell you that the servers, I believe, are 60 Hz. Like, you won't be playing on, like, low refresh rate servers, you know? The gunplay feels clean. Any spare keys for the beta? I am working on it. I'm going to start an actual Q&A here on YouTube. So let's do that. It's a little bit easier. A little bit easier to speak to you. Right, there we go. Start Q&A. Boom. You can now ask me questions in the live chat and it will filter into the questions tab. TB, can I say, when I listen to your YouTube videos, it sounds like you have a suit and tie on compared to your live commentary. Yeah, I like, when I make a video, I like very consciously space myself about this far away from the microphone. Hi guys, it's me, the Tactical Bit, and I'm here today with another Battlefield 6 video. Sorry, that was so disgusting, doing that live cut wrong. My phone voice is how I get the ladies, I think. Who knows? I accidentally pocket dialed Paladin Amber this morning. Like, I've spoken a fair bit to Paladin Amber over the course of the event. And she like posted her setup this morning and I was like, bro, why have you got a lily pad in your room? Because I've switched phone, I like straight up like arm dialed her. It was funny as hell, bro. I was like, big man, I'm so sorry. Just typing that out alone nearly made me have a panic attack, let alone getting the rest of the message across. So ask away, ask away in the, ask away in the Q&A section. So I'll start going to the questions tab. Alright, Inflatable Peas has asked, how is the level of explosive spam? It's a little bit on the heavy side. Oh, this was a crazy streak, by the way. It needs work. It does need work. I'm gonna write this down because I need to remember where these clips are so I can pick them up later. So explosive spam is definitely something that needs work. It's definitely something that, like, I feel there's a bit too much of at the current moment in time. I think it's something that, like, if you've played Battlefield Labs, which I can obviously now talk about, if you play Battlefield Labs, like, the explosive spam in Labs was way worse because there was more equipment available. It's better in the beta, so, like, I hope they sort of figure it out. But we'll see in it. Right, let's go to another question. Let's roll up more questions. Let's go for... Yes, Mr. YouTube, I can see that. Which class or classes have C4? I believe both the... No, not the engineer. I believe both the recon and engineer have C4? Combat ladder, seen or used it. I've seen it, I've not used it. It wasn't available in the build that we played. It's actually weirdly, like, the combat ladder is one of those things where, like, it's weirdly technical. By the way, folks, if you are just joining us, make sure you drop a like on the stream. It's one of those things where, like, it looks really simple as a piece of equipment, but the combat ladder, in terms of making it, is actually quite difficult to code. Do we know if there is a level limit on the beta? I don't think so. I'm not sure yet. Do you think Battlefield 6 will last and retain players after a few months? I think so. I think content release schedules are going to be really key for that. But I think the combination of Portal, a BR, and the multiplayer is going to be a really good combo for them. As long as they can keep, like, a steady flow of content post-release, I think they'll be in a pretty good spot. Are you going to show us the controller settings that you showed the streamers? Yes, I am. I'll be releasing a controller video pretty much... like, I mean, I'm making it tonight, so I might just release it tonight. We'll see. I've seen a couple of other settings videos out in the wild on Twitter from, like, various people. Yeah, let's just say don't listen to them, because Jesus Christ, do they not know what they're talking about. Like, I have seen some settings that have been put out there where these guys are clueless, bro. They're out here telling you to turn off things that, like, you know, you actually need, and asking you to turn on things that you don't need. So please, very respectfully, do not listen to any of those. You know? Oh. Really? There we go. Cool. Right. I just need to get my questions tab up. Perfect. There we go. Right. So do me a favor and don't listen to those. So we'll do live chat on the left and we'll do questions tab on the right. If given the chance, would you whip out the event exclusive sneakers again? Those would have to be for a very special occasion. A very special occasion. There is, like, no... Those like, trainers that I had at the event are in a box and they are not coming out unless they need to come out. You know what I mean? So, I think it's safe to say that you'll never see those trainers again, really. You'll never see them again. Wedding sneakers confirmed, yeah. Yeah, good luck to me trying to get anything in the realm of speaking to women whilst Battlefield is out. I'm sure that's going to go well for me. I keep accidentally pressing the camera key instead of the lock button on my iPhone. So I'm such a newbie with it. I really enjoyed the jets, by the way. I thought it was sick. Really enjoyed the jets. Cool, let's pull up another question. Here's a good one. What is aim assist like in Battlefield 6? Honestly, not very strong. Like, there's two types of aim assist in Battlefield 6. There is snap aim assist and there's slowdown aim assist. So snap aim assist is like when you're looking roughly in the cone of vision of the target and you hit ADS, it will slightly magnetize towards that target. But once the snap is finished, it doesn't actually assist you any further. So the second you aim in on somebody, and you'll see some examples of this whilst the gameplay is going on in the background, your gun kind of goes... But like, if that person moves an inch whilst it's done that, it's not going to carry on. The other aim assist is slow down aim assist, and it just sort of like vaguely slows down the sensitivity around like the character itself, right? It's nothing like COD. COD is basically a soft aimbot. The aim assist in Battlefield 6 I would describe as extremely well balanced. If you ever see a settings video that tells you to turn off snap aim assist, please do not do that. Snap aim assist is a very important setting, and turning it off will put you at a major disadvantage, so please do not do that. But yeah, the AA isn't strong. If somebody is moving across the screen, there isn't any like rotational aim assist. Like there's no like rotational where it's tracking the target and does all the work for you. If you're tracking, you have to be the one doing the tracking. So stuff like that, essentially. Like it's quite... So aim assist to me feels pretty well balanced. I would say it's probably the most balanced iteration I have seen between PC and console. So, you know, you're going to need the right controller settings. I will say that the controller settings out of the box are diabolically bad. Like, the controller settings out of the box are not great. Like, they really do need work. The menus themselves for the controller settings, which you'll see in my video later today, is also horrific. So it's something that I am speaking to the devs to. I'm going to have a meeting with them soon. Let me just disable... Why have I got Discord notification sounds all of a sudden? So, yeah. Enable desktop notification. Get that right off, mate. Disable all notification sounds. Thank you very much. Yeah, so, like... Yeah, the settings out of the box are not fantastic. The menus really aren't great. I'm speaking to DICE at this current moment in time to simplify the controller page. And they also have lots of really silly options, like Battlefield has too many options. It's not that they don't have like good settings, it's just that they have too many options and it's really confusing and overwhelming. So I will be putting a video out today to simplify that for all of you. I'm hoping to work with the devs to try and make the out-of-the-box experience better. And it's something that I'm having conversations with them on. So I think you'll really enjoy that. I've just realized I haven't controlled the camera, so I'm absolute crap. So let me get that off. Whoops. Can you tell I've been away from streaming for a week? Like, my brain's still catching up. Right, let's keep it going with the questions. How is the bullet velocity of weapons? There seems to be a lot of variation of that. Like, certainly the weapons with lower recoil definitely had substantially lower bullet velocities. Like the U100 LMG that people have been referencing a lot was absolutely horrific over range. So, like that's a good example of that. There's a couple of case examples where if something is low recoil, it has low velocity. I think it's 9 AM on Thursday, Elliot, but I'm not entirely sure. Jets are definitely something that felt really fun as well. Silk was absolutely dominating me in a jet at one point. I was like, broski, like, what are we doing? One of the big controller setting things that I will be talking about, by default, your acceleration is on your right analog stick. Like, I don't know if you've played newer Battlefields, right? But by default, your acceleration is on your right analog stick. That is utter woke nonsense, all right? You want your acceleration to be on the triggers, okay? Everybody wants their acceleration to be on the triggers, and doing anything other than that is a disgrace. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this. There's an ejection sound. Hold on, listen to this. Let me pull this back. Like 10 seconds or so. When you jump out the jet, there actually is an ejection sound. How cool is that? That's sick. Yeah, they've basically made it so that by default your acceleration's on your right stick, like Halo. I think that's terrible. I've always been an L2 R2 acceleration kind of guy, so I will be changing that in the controller settings. It is a very easy change. You just have to change the stick layout to alternative, but I will show you all of that in the video, so don't worry about that. Shooting with the shoulder buttons are possible for Wildebeest. It's something that I do in the game. I switch to L1 and R1. I also switch my crouching to R3. You think the time to kill is quick? I think it's about right. I would say the time to death feels faster than the time to kill. Like, the time to kill when you're actually shooting somebody feels about right. But the time to death when you die to somebody feels a little bit quicker than the TTK, which I think is why people sort of take issue with like that situation. Also, there was a bug in the build that we played where like sometimes if you tried switching to your RPG, it pulled out your repair tool and vice versa, and I think it got me killed in that event like at least 6 times. It was really annoying. It's really, really annoying. How does the sense of scale feel in the maps that you got to play? I would say Liberation Peak, which is the one you're watching now, is the biggest map out of what we got to play. In terms of size and scale. So what you're seeing literally right now on this spawn screen is the largest map in the open beta that you'll be playing. I've been told that the New York map that we played is the smaller of the two. So Empire State Conquest is actually the smaller map. Not the bigger map. So there will be a New York map where you may have jets, you may have helicopters, and you may have tanks. So, you know, there is larger scale maps coming. Obviously, we've got Operation Firestorm as well. All of that jazz. It does feel like the maps are a little bit on the smaller side. It's something I discussed in my impressions video, but honestly, they are good maps. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I am being perfectly frank, yes, I did find them a little bit on the smaller side, but they were all really good. Empire State is phenomenal. It's one of the best infantry maps I've played in any modern Battlefield game. Siege of Cairo is probably the most fun I've had since like Grand Bazaar and Tal Al Market. I absolutely jet rammed somebody there, and I don't apologize for it. So it's like Siege of Cairo is incredible. Empire State's incredible. This is arguably the least enjoyable map of the 3, and it's still really good. It's like a 7.5. Do you know what I mean? So I guess I'm kind of trying to look at it in a slightly different sense. I'm trying to look at it as not necessarily are the maps big, small, yada, yada, yada. Are the maps good experiences? Because you can have a massive map and it can be boring, or you can have a big map and it can be fantastic, or you can have a tiny map and it can be incredible, or you can have a tiny map and it can be fantastic. So I'm trying to take a bit more of a balanced approach to how I'm looking at the maps. I would say a lot of the maps in terms of size and scale have felt more like Bad Company 2 in terms of sort of what they're doing. That would be my sort of take on that at this moment in time. So it's one of those things where like... Oh, hold on. I can actually just switch between these this way. Which one was this? We'll do this one. So it's one of those. Sorry, I just didn't realize I could switch between them that quickly. We had a lot of recording, man. I'll be answering questions on all of them. Have I played all 9 maps? No. I've not played all 9 maps. It's one of the things I mentioned in my impressions video is that the final package for this game needs to have variety. But if the quality of those maps is towards Empire State, it's towards Siege of Cairo, then we're going to have an incredible time. Like, if they can get good variety in terms of scales of maps and have that degree of, like, good design on them, I think they're laughing. I honestly think all of the maps you'll play in the beta, you'll probably enjoy. I wasn't a big fan of the smaller Gibraltar map for squad deathmatch, but like that's just one, right? It's just one map. Yep, we'll be able to stream when the beta goes live. Right, let's answer another question. Did they reveal any more details about the BR, and will it overtake Warzone as your BR of choice? We got no details at the event in terms of the Battle Royale. We were told nothing. We weren't even told about the teaser that was coming in the reveal. It just sort of happened. So, no information on the BR. It looks like the Battle Royale is coming to Labs. So, if you're in Battlefield Labs, you probably will be able to play it. Should be pretty good. They said they rebuilt vehicles from the ground up, yet the vehicles still look clunky from previous BS releases. What is your feeling on this? I would say not necessarily clunky, but they feel potentially quite balanced. I think the IFV needs a little bit more mobility, and I think the main battle tank needs to be a little bit quicker. But other than that, I would say they feel like they're in a pretty good spot. Helicopters, I'm not really a massive helicopter main, so I'm probably not the best guy to comment on it. But I would say that the helicopters felt a lot more weighty compared to other Battlefield games. In terms of, like, if you made a banking turn on a helicopter and you bottled it, you would, you'd know. You know what I mean? Like, that you could kind of feel the sway of the helicopter and the inertia if you make a really harsh turn. So it's obviously something that, you know, I'm not the biggest helicopter guy in the world, so I'm not, you know, qualified necessarily to tell you about it, but I am somebody who mains a lot of MBTs and IFVs, and I was pretty happy with them. Like I've played a lot of main battle tanks in the past. I used to tank snipe on Goldman Railway, try and knock helicopters out of the sky and stuff like that. So for me, the tanks felt pretty decent. So, you know, not too bad. No, that won't be an option, Danzo. Importing models definitely won't be an ability. Is Tommy still raging at you for the helicopter kill? Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to answer some more questions, folks. Feel free to drop a bloody like on the stream. Get it popping. The more likes, the merrier. Let the YouTube overlords know that you're excited to be here. Do you think they should close weapons for breakthrough in the beta? It was only for conquest. I think they're just toying around with what the data looks like. I will say this. Give it a try. Because I tried to use out-of-class weapons a couple of times, and they feel so much worse out of class. Like, if you try and use an SMG outside of an engineer, they just feel terrible. You know what I mean? And it was kind of the same for, like, if you tried using an AR outside of Assault, it definitely didn't perform the same way. So, for me personally, like, give it a go. The actual in-class weapon system, or whatever they're calling them, like, they're calling them signature weapons. Give them a try. Like, from what I felt and from what I played, whenever I used a signature weapon outside of its actual class, it performed substantially worse. So, yes, I would prefer locked weapons. Oh, this was hilarious, by the way. I got stuck on this turret for, like, a good minute and a half. I would personally prefer locked weapons. That being said, the current implementation isn't terrible. If that makes sense. So here's a bit of the MBT gameplay that I was talking about. I felt like tanks were in a good spot. You do have to work with infantry. That's always been the case for tanks, though. When's the controller vid coming out? It's coming out today. Don't you worry. Papa Tactical Brit is working on it, alright? If it's good enough for Nade Shot and Scump, it's good enough for you. I'm guessing you don't want to play Warzone at the moment after playing this? You'd be absolutely correct. I will never play Warzone again. I'll be so honest with you. I am going to be playing a lot of variety shooters after this beta series finishes between September and October, because I just don't... Playing this... Oh my god, that's the alternative angle. I've just realized. That's the alternative angle of Westy's jet crash on Doom 49. Nice. Playing Battlefield 6, honestly, killed my enjoyment for every other first-person shooter that I've played. If I'm keeping it 100 with you. I had no incentive at all to play any other FPS after playing Battlefield 6. I genuinely enjoyed it that much that the thought of playing Warzone, right off. It's not happening, bruv. It's simply not happening, bruv. So after this, expect to see more armor, expect to see more Hell Let Loose, expect to see some squad on UE5. Just expect other streams. I will probably do the odd Warzone stream here or there, but this, I just, you know, look, I'm a Battlefield guy at the end of the day, and after playing this, I was like, look, what am I doing? Like, this is the context, like, I know this sounds like W Glaze to EA, right? But like, you know, obviously, you know, we haven't exactly hidden that we've been sponsored to go to this event. We were in the sweatiest lot. Look at some of the names on the kill feed here. Y-Stug, Chow1H, Stod, Westy, Benny, Doom 49, Silk OCE, bloody Otter, Stylers, Nade Shot, Scump, Crimsix. Like, these were some of the sweatiest lobbies of like any first-person shooter, and everybody still had fun. That's the crazy thing about this event. Like, we were literally in the trenches in terms of like ultra sweat lobbies. And like, it was just fun. Maxeek was there. Yeah, I spoke to Maxeek a fair bit. He's a good guy. We actually went to Universal with him. We dragged him out to Universal. Level Cap was there. Operator Drewski was there. Operator Drewski is way taller than he looks. UE5 update is coming to Squad, Rafe. Squad is moving to the UE5 engine. I said this to Drewski when I first met him, because I saw his face in the hotel room, and I'm like, wait, that's Blade Drewski. Like, that's Operator Drewski, right? And I literally turned to Drewski, I was like, Drewski, you're like 6'5", but you don't look it. Like, I literally had to say to him, I was like, dude, like, you need to speak to whoever is taking your photos at home, because in your photos, you look like 5'8", 5'10". The guy is like 6 foot something. Yeah, Tomo's like slightly taller, if not the same height as me, so about 6'3"-ish. 6'4". Do you feel the game was fun and organized, chaos of old, or do you think this is good for COD to pick up its game or kill COD? I don't think this is a COD killer. I think you play Battlefield because you enjoy Battlefield, and I think you play Battlefield because you prefer the experience that it produces. I do think that in terms of the suite they're offering, in terms of Portal, in terms of VR, in terms of multiplayer, I think that's going to raise a lot of eyebrows for Activision. But I don't think it's this sort of like COD killer, quote unquote. I think it just objectively might end up being a better first-person shooter. Wolf Samurai, thank you very much for the $8 Aussie. Where do you feel this sits compared to other Battlefields? I would say this is straight down the middle of Battlefield 3 and 4. Really, really fun game. I described it in my impressions video as if Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 4 had a baby. Because the actual core mechanics feel a lot like Battlefield 5 in terms of, like, you know, how people, like, move and stuff. But the... What's the word I'm looking for? Like, the movement speed, how you run around, some of the gunfights feel a little bit like BF5, but obviously it's a modern setting, so it's not World War II. So if you like BF3 and you like BF4, you'll probably like BF6. Oh, this was fun. Y-Stug decided to rush me in an IFB and I had to let him know I'm my main battle tank. That's that bug I was telling you about. Sometimes it pulls out the wrong thing. Can we get a content creator height list? Content creator height list. Drewski's really tall. Who else was really tall? Tomo's pretty tall. Hutch MF is like, I think he's like 6'6" or some shit. Like, put it this way, I am 6'3", okay? And I went to this event thinking I'm a pretty tall dude, right? You get to this event, and suddenly I felt very average in terms of height. Do you know what I mean? I was like, sorry, huh? Like what's going on? Like what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm literally walking into this event thinking to myself, yeah, I'm a pretty tall dude, man. Like, I can, you know, I'm all right. Like, you see the interview that I do with Battlefield, right? And, you know, the lady who did it with me, she's like, whatever, 5-something. So everybody's like, yo, that's a tall dude. And then you look around the room and you're like, that's a short dude, bro. Like, it's actually nuts. Like, I was literally just sat there like this. I've been Lil Bro'd accidentally in my own backyard. Right, let's answer some more questions. How do 1v2, 1v3 situations feel in this game? Really good. Like, I've kind of alluded to it. Like, I've alluded to it a couple of times. That, like, the thing for me about Battlefield and what makes the gunplay loop enjoyable and the gameplay loop enjoyable is finding those, like, really fun moments of gameplay where, like, you hop into cover, you hop out of cover, you get a couple of kills, crazy clutch healing from me, by the way. You know, you jump into cover, you jump out of cover, you make those plays together as a team where, like for me, it's like, I get a couple of kills, bang, hit the reload, drop back in, drop back out, bang, reload, you know, stuff like that. Like, I've always described it as a controlled chaos system. The fact that RPG didn't hit, by the way, actually took years off my life. It's all about controlled chaos. By the way, I just want to point out, I absolutely love the physics on how helicopters crash in this game. Fantastic. Like, for me, it's about those moments of diving in and out of cover, like, getting into the fray, getting into the action, and, like, that's what I got from this game. Like, the gunplay loop in this game is incredibly satisfying. Me and him had a little dancey dance. I think it was Nick. 9:30 he was in there. Yeah, the vehicles stay on the map unless their carcasses get detonated. So, like, if you see, like, a dead tank or a dead helicopter, unless somebody blows up the carcass, those will stay on the map. Yeah, shout out Squid, man. It's been a while since I've seen Squid, and it was, like, really cool to kind of be able to hang out with him again. I got the repair tool kill with this! I got the repair tool kill.
Attention, we're targeting Charlie.
Thank you for nearly 1,400 of you over on YouTube, by the way. Feel free to drop a like. Were there any content creators or streamers you were looking forward to meeting who you hadn't met yet? So, you know... Sorry, I didn't even answer the 1v2, 1v3 situations question. Let me get that out of the way first. 1v2s and 1v3s are fantastic. If you are able to utilize cover, be intelligent with your reloads, and get some headshots, those are really satisfying game. So, that's that out of the way. I actually didn't really have any content creators who I wanted to really meet at the event. Like, because I've got my core group of guys, right? I've got Westy, I've got Stod, Jack, Tomo, like, you know, Broken, Squid, Sergeant Danger Cat, all the guys from the UK group who I've known for a long time now. Like, seeing them is, to me, like, the treat in itself. So going into the event, I was kind of like, you know, there's not really anybody here who I'm, like, super keen to see. Like, Marley 13's there, and, like, I've known Marley for nearly a decade now. Dalek was there, I've known Dalek for a while now. So, like, you know, it was all people who I'd met before from the UK side. So I was kind of more excited to see the US guys, like Big Fry, Drewski, Karmacut. Because, like, for me, you know, as somebody who's dabbled in some of those mill sims, I've watched a lot of Drewski, I've watched a lot of Karmacut. You know, I've watched a lot. I like a lot of Big Fry's content. So being able to, like, chat with those guys was really sick. They're really lovely guys as well. You know, Karma and Drewski especially were, like, you know, super chatting away about their idea. Like, they're just cool dudes, man. Like, they're just cool dudes. But I was pleasantly surprised. You know, there was quite a few people who I got to meet. Xenos. Never met Xenos before, but respectfully to him, I had no idea who he was. Fantastic guy, great time with him, a good couple of drinks. Aaron the Loco. Aaron the Loco, I would say, is a big surprise because, like, I'm not what I would call a high-energy content creator. Aaron the Loco is a high-energy content creator. Like, sometimes I've seen his shorts and stuff, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's, like, hyperspeed, you know what I mean? But he's actually a really nice dude in person. I had a great time with him. I think he's a fantastic dude. Hopefully we'll get some games in with him at some point. Like, he's just a nice guy. Like, fantastic time with him. You know, literally the first night we landed there, we went to like a speakeasy together. Me, Marley, Tommy Rage, and Aaron the Loco were just playing pool. Actually, I've got to tell you about the pool story, man. The pool story is ridiculous. So we go to this like LA bar. We're in like a speakeasy in downtown LA or whatever. Like, nah, not downtown LA, towards the beach. And there's a pool table there. And we're like, oh, this pool table's got these massive pockets. Like, compared to a UK pool table, the pockets on this thing were absolutely huge, right? And me, Tommy, and Marley are there like, mate, these are shit. Like, what are these silly Americans doing, bro? We're like, what are these guys doing? Like, why are they playing pool on these massive tables, bro? They're playing pool in easy mode. So we're chatting all this shit, bro, slamming these drinks, chatting all this nonsense about how easy it is going to be to beat them, bro. Play our first game, lost. Instantly lost our first game, dude. Oh, dear. Oh, that's funny, man. So, yeah, like, you know, Aaron the Loco was cool. Ari was cool. She was like a Valorant streamer who I'd never met before. You know, just lots of people who I hadn't really had any discussions with. And they were just like, just the soundest people ever. Like, my favorite thing about these events is like, our jobs are quite isolating. Like, you don't, obviously I play with other content creators, but like, you know, it's not like I go to work every day with people who do my job, right? So like, being in a room with these guys who are all doing the same thing, editing their videos, bouncing ideas off of each other, talking about content. It was just so good, man. Like, it honestly completely... I mean, you can tell from the content output, it's completely revitalized... Shout out, Wisefuck. That was a hell of a shot. It's completely revitalized, like, my push to make content. Did I feed Stodd a tendy? No, but I did feed him an In-N-Out. I actually put my finger around his lips before I put it in his mouth. But now, like, everybody there was really, really cool. I'll drop some links in the chat to, like, Ari and Aaron the Loco and some of the other guys, like Xenos. Yeah, really cool people. Really glad to have met them. Let's do some more Q&A questions. So, you know. Bro ain't talking about meeting the GOAT himself in London after. I did actually get to see Torbis in London after. Torbis, like... Torbis should know, seeing as he's here. I wanted to see him because I was absolutely shattered. Like, when I say, like, I got home and I fell asleep and I slept for like 10 hours, I was exhausted. I still managed to see my guy. You know, oh, I got the heli sniper, didn't I? Yes, I fucking did. Yes, I did. I'm writing all of these down. This is actually brilliant for me. This is brilliant for me because, like, I've been going through all the footage and stuff, trying to get clips and shit, because I forgot about it. Bro was looking... Bro, I felt rough. I still feel, like, kind of rough, if I'm honest. Like, I'm not... Like, I'm glad the beta is happening on Thursday, because I honestly just need the time. This is footage that hasn't been released publicly, Tree. So this is footage that I have recorded, but not, like, public. I haven't put out in the public yet. So this is, like, 3 hours of gameplay, give or take. Am I a Mac guy now? I'm not just a Mac guy. I got both. The MacBook Pro was genuinely so impressive in terms of content. That I went and bought an iPhone the second I got back. Like, you have to bear in mind, I had clipped together 4 hours of footage, like 4K 60 FPS footage in like an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes. Like, that's near desktop grade editing. Like, near desktop grade editing in a laptop on DaVinci Resolve. So I was just sat there, I was like, dude, like, you know, there's, if I could have the ability to airdrop some of these clips in between and vice versa. So that's exactly what I went and did. You know, I'm not a big Apple person at all, but Apple Silicon M4, unreal. Like, I've never used anything mobile in terms of, like, you know, on the go editing that's that powerful. It's absolutely crazy.
We have initiated our attack on Echo.
This was captured on PC, but with a PlayStation 5 controller plugged in. Yeah, 16 Pro, Matthew. I know the 17s are on the horizon, but I just don't care. Like, as long as it does what I need it to do. I was so annoyed about that shot because my tank rotated. This is footage from the event, Blaggy. Do you think aim assist was balanced? I only played a mouse and key. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say it felt very balanced, Gar. Like, I played both at the event. And, like, I didn't feel like one was massively overpowering the other. How was it when the sirens started blasting? Did Solo Westy need a cuddle? Dude, I haven't even told you a lot about the tsunami story. Alright, so we're in LA, right? And I get a news notification on my phone. And it's like 8.9 earthquake detected in the Pacific Ocean in Russia. And at the time, my brain didn't put two and two together. My brain just went, oh, an earthquake, that's wild. That's a big earthquake, right? And at the time, my brain's like, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. And then all of a sudden, you know, I look down at the same alert, and it's another news notification on my phone. It's like, West Coast of America bracing for tsunami. I'm like, sorry, what? Like, hang on. Like, I'm on the West Coast of America. What are we talking about here? And then I shit you not, like an hour later, we actually got like the national emergency alert on our phone. Tsunami advisory warning or tsunami watch had been issued. Like, there is the potential for tsunami waves to hit LA and California at around midnight, right? Because obviously it's an 8.9 earthquake. You know, it's probably displaced a lot of water. Top of the leaderboard, I might add, in that game. There's the possibility that there will be tsunamis as a result of this. And, you know, obviously all of us are out here drinking, having some cocktails. Like, it's, you know, we get this alert come through. And we're like, sorry, what the like, what are we talking about here? What do you mean there's a chance that there's going to be a tsunami? So obviously we're all just kind of a bit like, oh. And like REA rep was a very good dude. He said, look, you know, we've already got plans in place if something does happen, but we've been confidently assured that it's going to be fine. Right? Obviously I'm on like we're in like a 20-story hotel, so it's really not that deep, right? But we were like close to the water. Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of our hotel location. And I don't know why, like, you know, maybe there's reckless abandon. Me, Marley, Aaron the Loco, and a few others decided to slam some more drinks. Those guys, I didn't know that they were running upstairs. They ran upstairs, grabbed their swimming shorts, and jumped in the pool in the hotel. And I was like, oh my god, like, yeah, screw it. So we just sat by the pool having drinks, and over the top of us, you can see these helicopters from LAPD going past. And they're like shouting at people to like leave the water, get away from the beach, you know, move as far away from the coast as you can, right? Now, thankfully, you know, the earthquake didn't displace a huge volume of water. I think Hawaii got affected the worst in Alaska, but not California, right? But like, statistically, there was a chance that we could have had like multiple feet high waves hitting the coast of where we were. So obviously, you know, it's just crazy. Like, we're all sat there, like, Like, sorry, like, how the hell have we
on my position.
been issued a warning? Like, it's nuts. So obviously, yeah, like, it's just, it's kind of a surreal experience. I've experienced an earthquake before. I've, like, you know, felt a small earthquake, but I've never had, like, any crazy or serious natural disasters in my life. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, it was quite eerie as well because a lot of people left the area. And then obviously you've already got, like, all the police helicopters flying overhead telling people, like, you know, it's not safe. Ah, Jaff, thank you for the... Bloody hell, that's an early... Jaff, when did you start streaming and when did you finish? It's a very early raid. What's going on there?
Attention, attack support is needed on the marked objective.
It's only like 11:30.
All right, we have secured Bravo.
Either that or my sense of time is completely off. Thank you, Jaff, for the raid and various raiders joining us. Had to try and repair this tank whilst he tried ditching me. Oh, nice one, Jaff. Thank you very much for the raid, man. I appreciate you. Let's get another question fired up. Let's go to the top of the list. I'm going to try and work my way through these. Did the devs mention anything about anti-cheat and how confident are they that they have a system that will work? So the anti-cheat is in the game. It is called Javelin. And I actually liked what they said about it. Because what they said about the Javelin system was not a lot. They basically just said, here's our anti-cheat. It does require secure boot. That was it. They didn't say, we're going to end cheating in video games, bro. Like, they didn't do any of that stuff. They didn't say, this is how we're going to troll cheaters. Cheaters are going to hate our game. Like, they didn't do any of this bullshit that Ricochet's done, where Ricochet's been like, by the way, bro, we're going to flex on all these cheaters. Anyways, here's no anti-cheat. Thanks, COD. Like, that was essentially what COD did. Battlefield went, we have an anti-cheat. We're working on it. Hopefully it goes well. Like, they didn't say it's going to kill the, like, cheating. They didn't make any promises. They didn't do any nonsense or marketing for it. They just said, we have an anti-cheat. Here's what it does. Cool. Thanks. That's all I wanted. So the anti-cheat is in the game. I believe it is a kernel level anti-cheat. It does require secure boot. It does have self-scanning systems. And they have been using older versions of Battlefield to data train the anti-cheat for this version of Battlefield. So rather than collecting information as a brand new anti-cheat, it's already got information to kind of vaguely work off of, which is good to see. So I think how they handled the anti-cheat situation was great. How did the TTK feel? Any experience of getting shot around corners? No, but we were on a LAN setup. So, like, you know, bear that in mind. That being said, I think it's very clear that they are using 60 Hz servers. Gun audio compared to 2042, whole different world. The audio in this game is the best audio of any first-person shooter I've played since Squad. In terms of the sound of things, in terms of the soundscape, in terms of where Battlefield 6 is, it's up there with, like, Arma Reforger and Squad. 100%. And I consider those games to have phenomenal audio. Do you think BF6 could have a lasting legacy like Battlefield 3? I think if there's a legacy for this game, it will probably come from Portal. And I don't think that's discrediting the core content of the game. I still think the core content of the game is fun. But Battlefield Portal has so much potential in terms of experiences and being this sort of fun, custom thing that I can't really wait to see what they do with that. Really excited to see what happens with that. So we'll see what happens on that front. What kind of FPS were you playing at, and any idea what cards or machine you were on? If anybody is in the chat, Stod, if you're here, maybe still. If anybody who was at the LA event with me remembers the PCs we had, because I actually didn't check. I'm not going to lie. the performance was so good that I didn't even really feel the need to check what system I was using. So I think it's safe to say that they are fairly high-end. Jack said that they were 5070s. Well, there you go. So I think we had some kind of AMD X3D chip and a 5070, so a pretty high-end build. So, you know, I didn't feel the need to check the frame rate because it felt like I was getting probably like at least 170, 160. Like it felt like pretty beefy hardware. Were you frame generating? No, that was the only setting I made sure was turned off. Frame generation off, guaranteed. I made sure that I had NVIDIA Reflex Plus Boost, and that was pretty much it. Everything else I kind of left at a vague area of where I thought it should be. If that makes sense.
Be advised, hostile troops have secured more objectives.
The rockets flying around sound good? They do. Controller settings video is not live yet. That'll be later today. Did they increase the possible FOV from 105 to 120? Which did you play? It does go up to 120. I played at 110 FOV. I think 105 to 110 is probably the sweet spot that I would play at. There is DLSS. I didn't have DLSS on. I was playing it native. Let's go for some next questions. Was it all business, or did you at least get to hang out with the homies? The first day we landed, we went to Venice Beach, got some drinks, had some fun. Me, Tommy, Aaron the Loco, and Marley 13 stayed out that night and kind of just had a bit of a blast together. Shot some pool, got some drinks in, had a good time. The day after, we actually all went to Universal together. So we went to Universal Studios. There are some very interesting clips from that trip. But pretty good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, we had some fun in between. And also, the after party, dude. Anderson .Paak. I mean, come on. Like, it was really... like, I was actually getting frustrated. Like, the amount of people who would be like, who the hell is Anderson .Paak? I'm like, what are you talking about? Anderson .Paak and the Free Radicals. This man was half of Silk Sonic, responsible for some of Mac Miller's best songs. What do you mean, who is Anderson .Paak? Like, my little mind was blown. I had a great time. Like, that man made Silk Sonic with Bruno Mars. And you're like, who? I'm like, what are you people talking about? Even the guys who didn't know who he was at the after party were like, holy crap, like, that was sick. Like, his DJ set and the songs he performed was unreal. Like, yeah, Anderson .Paak, dude, like, at the after party was insane. Like, I've paid to see Anderson .Paak live. So, you know, to go to an after party and he's there, it was sick, dude. My favorite fucking thing for that after party, like, Anderson .Paak's on stage, right? And he's like got bottles of alcohol and he's like pouring it around. He's like, you know, people are coming up to him getting a drink. Steffi, I'm sure she won't mind me saying this, but I think she has a clip of it on her Twitter. Steffi goes up. Steffi Evans, like Cochrane, goes up to him and gets like some tequila poured in her mouth, and he just completely missed and got it clean in her eyes. I was just laughing for like 10 minutes straight. Oh, I was like, dude, what? How has this happened? His Tiny Desk performance was simply elite. Dude, it's literally like... I think he's one of like the most underrated modern artists of all time. Like, you know, in terms of being a producer, in terms of being a DJ, and in terms of the general music he makes, like, what an outrageous performance, right? So, having him there, unreal, dude. Like, I lost my mind when they told us he was there. So yeah, we had some play in between the work, and it was cool, man. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, there was just a lot of time for us to hang. A lot of time for us to cool, like chill out together. Childish, thank you very much for the channel membership. My channel notifications are being updated in a minute, so they aren't working. So you don't see it appear on the screen. That's all. But thank you very much. What would cause this game to fail at the moment, in your eyes? Or is the current game good enough where you don't see that's possible? I think it's more about the final package and polish. What we played was very well polished, felt great, had a fantastic time. If what releases has the same degree of polish as what we played, the game's going to be great. That's going to be fantastic. The other part of that is that the final package needs to have good variation. Like I say, Cairo and Empire State are what I would consider to be medium light maps, or medium minus would be the word I would probably use. And I don't want a future for Battlefield where the maps are all small. So as long as Operation Firestorm's pretty big, as long as the other maps that come in the launch are reasonably sized or they have big maps, if there is a good varied package on release of maps like Cairo and maps like Firestorm, we're in for a great year. I do think having good variety is important. That being said, and this is something I've alluded to a little bit earlier in this live stream, the maps themselves were fantastic. Like, they were great. There's no avoiding it. They were, like, some of the best maps I've played in a Battlefield game in quite some time. Siege of Cairo and Empire State are both S-tier maps. Both S-tier maps. Like, when you play it, like, when you play Siege of Cairo and when you play Empire State, they are both top-tier maps. Like, they are going to be fan favorites without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, be advised. Enemy tank operating in your area. Over.
Drops will be enabled on Twitch, Sol, on the 7th, and I think you only need to watch for half an hour to get a code. This is PC gameplay with a PlayStation controller. Will you predominantly be playing mouse and keyboard or controller? Probably more controller than mouse and key. Will you be live streaming the open beta from August 7th? Yes, I will be. Literally, from the second the beta goes live, I will be live. We have early footage right now from the event I was at, where I recorded well over 200 gigs worth of gameplay. Why are the maps so small? It's not that they're so small. I don't think they're tiny. They're smaller. They're more like Bad Company maps.
Our troops are attacking Echo.
Have they abandoned Weapon Bloom? This is an interesting question. I think they have, but I think if you move too much while shooting, an amount of spread is introduced. I will have drops, Twitch drops on the 7th, correct? Yeah, I will be live with Twitch drops on the 7th. So, like, it seems to be to me that if you're stationary firing a weapon, I think the gunplay is basically like for like to Battlefield 4, where if you're stationary and burst firing your weapon, it's 100% accurate, no spread. But I think if you're firing your gun full auto and you're strafing at the same time, a small amount of spread is introduced. So that's my feeling with that. But I think they have abandoned spread in terms of gunplay. Which Battlefield did I start on? I mean, I have the most hours in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, but I've played everything, like, including Battlefield 2, so quite a lot of Battlefields have gone through. Is there proximity chat or just squad chat? There needs to be some trash talk. There is an option in the game settings called World Chat. Now, I'm not going to tell you what that means, but it looks like in the future, either in Battlefield 6, maybe not the multiplayer, but maybe, should we say, in a third mode, which was publicly teased at the reveal event, there will be proximity chat by the looks of it. Otherwise, that setting wouldn't exist. So it looks like proxy chat is coming to the VR. What FOV would you recommend? I'm going to be doing about 105 to 110, but I'm going to be including a full information docket in my video today, War Daddy, so keep an eye out for that. What are your thoughts on having AT and AA at the same time for Engineer? Did it feel too oppressive? I think it should be one or the other. I don't think I saw many people at the event using both. I can't tell whether that's just because they didn't know how to, or if it was restricted at the event. But it shouldn't be both. It should be one or the other. You shouldn't have both. How do you feel about the change to have the redeploy beacon as an assault perk? It's always been synonymous with recon, but I know it's better suited on assault to get behind enemy lines. I would say it does suit assault more. Having recon have the spawn beacon, to me, makes no sense, because it let recons double down on camping, which made no sense. Yes, I will have early access codes on Twitch and on YouTube, Nitro. Drops on Twitch, I will actually have codes that I can hand out myself here on YouTube. So, like, the redeploy beacon being on recon, to me, has never made sense, because recons just sit and camp. They just sit in the back of the map and snipe, so it's never made sense. So having the assault get the redeploy beacon is really, really cool. I think it's a great change. I think it's a good decision. I do think the recon now needs something in the realm of equipment to make it more appealing. I think the recon class at the moment is kind of in a place where I don't really know the benefit to it. The recons do now have a really cool ability where if you go... if you as a recon go prone, you unspot yourself from any spotting, which I think is quite cool. Like, that seems like a nice change. So that's a cool change. But they do, I think the recons now need a piece of equipment to really level them off in terms of playing field, because right now it kind of feels like they sort of don't really have anything going for them. So, you know, I think it was a good change. I think it was a good change. Out of all of the modes you played, what was your favorite? I really like the squad deathmatch. I just love Conquest. I'm not really the massive breakthrough guy. I'm not like, squad deathmatch was okay, so was domination. Like, they were fun in terms of short range CQB fighting. But the most fun I had was definitely Conquest. I've always been a Conquest player personally. Like, I like the ability to flow between objectives, have a little bit of downtime, collect my thoughts, and go again. That's always kind of been the thought process for me. So yeah, for me, Conquest, right up my street. What are your thoughts on Portal mode? Do you have any info about that from LA? I think a lot of the information has come out about Portal. But, like, for me, Portal was pretty sick, dude. Like, I haven't played it. We haven't been able to touch it yet. But, like, essentially, Portal is a web editor, Godot web editor, that allows you to do custom AI scripting, custom map placement, pick up and drop assets in and out of game. It's really, really cool. What they're doing with Portal is very exciting. And I think if they do it right, Portal is going to be monumentally revolutionary. Like, revolutionary for the FPS space. That is my current thoughts and feels on this. I was absolutely frying, by the way. Sorry, can we just run that back? Like, we're not going to talk about this? Just out here dropping bodies on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Bro just went crazy. That's how good the audio is, by the way. Like, if you want an indication of just how good the audio is in Battlefield 6, I pre-fired this guy before he came around the corner because I heard him. Why wouldn't Portal fail again like 2042? The version of Portal that is in Battlefield 6 is absolutely nothing like the version of Portal in 2042. 2042 is basically like a glorified mode editor. Battlefield 6 is like a Fortnite GTA editor. It's two very different worlds. Two very, very different worlds. Raunchy, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Do you get to use Portal yourself, or do you get to see something exclusive? I have had no hands-on with Portal at all. To my knowledge, the team who are working on Portal have been working on it in secret for a very, very long time with a very, very large budget. That is all I know about Portal. The Portal will be XP farms only again? It won't be, because there is an AI detection system in it that will be getting rid of those for you. That is what I have been told. That was the first time I saw a shell deflect, by the way. I went to fire an RPG at point blank range, and I bottled it, and it just bounced off the floor. What's your thoughts on no dedicated EA hardcore servers? I think hardcore is quite a niche mode, but I think loads of people will make hardcore Portal experiences, and I think they will be very popular. So if you are somebody who enjoys hardcore, I wouldn't worry about it. Are you seeing yourself going back more on BF occasionally, or switching to God? Or I wish if you go fully on BF6, have more content around the franchise. I have full intentions of playing Battlefield. If I'm being very honest, Black Ops 7 and Warzone are not in my plans later this year. At all. Like, it's Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders. Why did you play with a controller? Isn't that considered a disadvantage? I would completely disagree, considering I finished top of the leaderboard for pretty much every single game. For context, as I freeze frame this, Benny's on controller, I'm on controller. Everybody else on this list, to the best of my knowledge, is on keyboard and mouse. And me and Benny have more kills than nearly everybody combined.
Maintain your attack.
Sorry, I'm a little bit tired still. How did the red dot sights feel? They look really dark. I would agree with that. I do think some of the optics do need more illumination. Are jets going to have weapons that actually have utility to help fight on the ground, not just stay up in the bird? They have they have air-to-surface missiles, as well as the ability to drop unguided bombs. So those were the two jet, like, air-to-ground pieces of equipment that I saw. So it looked really, really good. There aren't bots in the game itself unless you're making a Portal experience. There are AI in the game, but only in Portal, and you have to tell those you have to code those AI to tell them what to do. It's not like, you know, bots like Warzone casual. Very different conversation. In the trailer, there was a snippet of a helicopter crashing into a large building in the Gulf of Oman looking map. Do you know? I don't know what the rest of this question is, but yes, that is one of the larger maps in the game. It's in the Tajikistan biome. There is a list of maps that they have publicly out there now, and that is one of them. And it's one of the larger maps, and those buildings do look destructible, so that's very, very exciting. I haven't personally played the map, but it does look really cool. How was the build that you played at the live event, and will it be like that on official release? The build we played at the live event was incredibly well polished. It was probably the most polished Battlefield I have played in terms of a beta build for quite some time, and what you will be playing is essentially the same build. In terms of content, in terms of maps, in terms of weapons, in terms of polish, I believe what you guys are playing is basically the same as what we played. So this is the Gibraltar map, but this is the squad deathmatch variant of Gibraltar. Are these map real places with the same exact structure or inspired? They're inspired by them. Some of them are the exact same structures, like Empire State obviously is Brooklyn Bridge. So there are, Gibraltar obviously is one-to-one, not like one-to-one, but in terms of like the buildings and what it looks like is essentially Gibraltar. Do you get snap and slowdown for aim assist, or is it one or the other? It's both, but there's no tracking. So, like, you can snap to a target, and you will get slowdown when you're on the target, but you don't get rotational aim assist. If somebody is shifting left and right, or they go prone, or they stand up, you have to adjust your aim manually. So that's the balancing factor that's coming in there. Is a regular PS5 good enough to run that game decently? Yes. You'll get 60 FPS on a regular PlayStation 5 on normal mode. You will get above 60 FPS. I believe I've been told that it's roughly in and around 80 to 90 FPS in performance mode. And if you're on a PlayStation 5 Pro, there is a specific version of the game for PS5 Pro that will have more enhancements and improvements in terms of performance. Do you think the new Portal is going to be a game changer for Battlefield? I think it could be a game changer for the first-person shooter industry. Like, I think if they pull off what they want to pull off in terms of what they've showed us, if they can get that going, I don't even think we're talking about, is Portal going to change Battlefield? I think we're talking about, is Portal going to change first-person shooters? That's my feeling about Portal. You know, there are so many potential things that we could make as content creators. What about Xbox? I would assume that because they are essentially the same consoles with the same hardware, although the Xbox Series X is slightly more powerful than base PS5, I would assume if you're on a regular Series X, you'll probably get 60 FPS in default mode and more than 90. Well, I'd say about 90 FPS in performance mode, give or take. It'll be in and around that. It'll be in and around that kind of wavelength. But Portal is essentially like a mod tool system. We're talking about, you know, map altering, scripting, AI scripting. Like Portal is essentially Halo Forge. Like, so very exciting in terms of what that could be, not just for first-person shooters, like not just for Battlefield, but for first-person shooters. Like, I think Battlefield Portal could fundamentally change how first-person shooters are looked at. Like, if Portal goes well, and it's, like, massively uptaken by loads of people, I see a Battlefield 6 that is supported for 3 or 4 years. Like, I don't see a Battlefield game that's supported for 2 years or a year. I see a Battlefield game that's getting a 3 or 4 year budget. That's kind of the way I look at it. Apart from game sales, how are EA going to monetize this? It's not something I'm worried about. I think they've said quite publicly that they don't want skins to be something that dilutes the base game. I would not be surprised, because we were thinking about this and we talked about this on the Pulse Check podcast last night. So sponsors are obviously going to be involved with Battlefield, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the Fortnite editor, but with the Fortnite editor, you've got Nike, you've got, you know, various energy drink companies, various brands for coffees, clothing companies. They all use the Fortnite editor to make their own worlds and make sort of sponsored experiences. I would not be shocked to see Battlefield Portal have a separate store for cosmetics from the base game. This isn't confirmed, this isn't guaranteed information, but it would be a way to allow Battlefield to monetize more wacky content without it affecting the base game. and allow third-party content as well from like sponsors and brands. So, you know, you're not going to get any of that stuff in the base game, according to the devs. They've said, like, look, you know, we don't want somebody running around as Nicki Minaj. But, like, it wouldn't shock me in the future if they sold separate cosmetic entities that were usable in Portal. Could this even be a Project Realism Insurgency situation where the new game completely branches off from the base game? 100%. 100%. Absolutely. Like, so my understanding is that you will be able to mess with objectives and you will be able to change the scripting surrounding, like, capture flags, where the location of those capture flags are, how those capture flags work. So it would not shock me to see a future where Project Reality for Battlefield 6 exists. Like, it would not surprise me at all to see a Project Reality for Battlefield 6. Like, I would not be surprised to see people making Project Reality BF6 within the first few months of this game releasing. If you're somebody who played Battlefield 2, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've played Squad, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to quickly just go grab a drink, folks, so I'll be back in a second. The gameplay will continue to roll. Wagwan Generalis. Oh, I'm back. Hello. Sorry, I was just finding... Got a drink, had a package delivered. Got a screen protector from my new phone. Picked up a packet of Smash. Ooh. I was delivered, for those of you who are Norwegian, I was delivered this. And it's a chocolate confectionery called Smash. And I gotta tell you, an absolutely stupendous piece of confectionery. Bro, I don't know what you Norwegians are making over there, but wow. Like, wow. The annoying thing about this stuff... Shout out to Torbis, by the way, for giving me this. Once you start eating it, you don't want to stop. Because it is genuinely that good.
Get the rally point.
Hostile targets confirmed. Leave nothing alive.
Smash is Swedish, though? I don't care what it is. Whatever Nordic shaggery it is. Can't be good for your macros? Absolutely not. But let me tell you something, Foley. I ain't going to the gym until at least Thursday, bro. I am cooked. I will say this, though. The hotel we were at was probably the first hotel I've been to that didn't have a terrible gym. Can you confirm this, please, from Battlefield 6 Dead? You get a chance to talk to them. Keyboard and mouse support is on console. Preppy. There is keyboard and mouse support. What did you think about the recoil of guns? I think the guns actually do have okay recoil. We just looked good at controlling it. You have to bear in mind, and this is something that people haven't really mentioned, like, you know, we're talking about a room of people who play shooters for a living. Like, the entire room, like, plays shooters for a living. So, like, of course it's going to look like the weapons don't have recoil. They actually do. And obviously it's something that's very easily tweaked. But I would say get hands-on with the guns themselves before you assume that they're all just really easy to use. Because some of them aren't. Some of them, like this L1 non-10, are deceptive. I believe the beta starts at 9 AM in the UK, so 10 AM Central European time. It looks as though there's no directional damage against vehicles. For example, shots to the rear do the same as shots to the front. I don't think that is the case, Dan, but I will get confirmation on that. I very distinctly had a couple of engine block shots where I very clearly did mortal damage to the vehicle. My wondering is that it's not directional damage, it's actually structural damage. So, like, rather than it just being you hit the back of the vehicle and you do more damage, it might be that you actually have to hit a specific angle or hit a specific compartment. That's my thinking on that. Because there was a couple of times where I used an RPG and I hit somebody in the engine block and they started burning off. It didn't instantly kill the tank, but it definitely did more than 25 damage or whatever it was. That was a nasty drop shot, by the way. I don't even know how I did that. Can you do S&D mode with Portal? Yeah, you probably can. All you would need is the M-comms from Rush, and you could use the exact same mechanics and change it to a one-life mode. I think it'd be something that would be fairly easy to make in Portal if you wanted to make Search and Destroy. Do you think the red dot on other scope reticles are too dim, as in not bright enough? 100%. Yeah, they definitely need a little bit more illumination in the central dots of some of the optics in the game. I was absolutely frying, dude. They already have, Vinny. There was a blog post last night. Spawn beacons are now on assault, and they're called redeploy beacons instead. The audio on that, by the way, unreal. God damn. I was cooking, bro. What's wrong with me? Sorry, will you take a moment of appreciation for what occurred here? Came out the woodwork. Dropping guys left, right, and center. Jump back up. Did you try changing any colors? Yes. I made the enemies a darker red, the teammates a darker blue, and the friendlies a darker green. I will be showing that you in my controller settings video very shortly, which I'll be releasing today. Look at that. Boom, boom. Hold that. 10 kill streak by the Tactical Brit. Boom. Boom. Nearly one more and I bottled because there was two of them, and one of them had a shotgun. I was on a damn tear.
We are heading for victory. Maintain attack on all fronts.
I need to adjust my camera position today. Do weapons get dirty with dirt and mud? I think they do, yeah. I think it wasn't something I paid attention to, but I'm pretty sure they do. There was a whole other room of content creators, and I was out here going... Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. That's what I was doing. Preferred class and loadout. I am an engineer, through and through. I always have been. I've always preferred the engineer class over anything else.
All squads, sector defense now. Stop the enemy advance and grind them down.
How do you feel about the state of what you played? And you absolutely smashed the game? Well, look, you know, look. I had to let them know that some of us have been, you know, some of us have been Battlefield guys for a while, you know what I mean? I had to let them know that some of us have been Battlefield guys for a while, you know? You know, some of these guys from other franchises thought they were going to show up and get some easy kills. Oh, this was funny. I jumped on the toe and just instantly chalked these lot. got a straight like quad feed. Let's put that in actually. The state of what we played was really, really good. I think there are like a lot of question marks around like certain balancing things. There are question marks around like how certain things are going to work in the game. Like, is this balanced? Is that balanced? Does this equipment need changing? Does that equipment need changing? And those are just natural, valid questions about the franchise. But things like balancing and those kind of more sort of technical questions are not things that I'm worried about because they're things that are going to change a lot between the beta and launch. But as a sort of the core concept stuff, like, there was very little wrong with the core gameplay. Very little wrong with the core mechanics and gameplay of Battlefield 6. Like, when I played 2042, within a couple of hours or days, like, it was so clear that there was so much fundamentally wrong with that game that couldn't be fixed short term. Like, a lot of things that were wrong with that game. And then when you play Battlefield 6, you're like, fundamentally, the core mechanics of this game are fantastic. But you're not really sure, like... Yeah, just gonna say, again, top of the leaderboard, you know. You know me. Like... The core mechanics of the game feel fantastic, but you're just not sure if the balancing elements are there. So, like, when I look at Battlefield 6, the only critical thing that I think can go wrong with this game is two things. One, the game releases and it isn't polished. What we played was incredibly polished, and if this is the polished level at launch, everybody will love it. Two, there needs to be variety. If all of the maps are similarly sized and there isn't enough variety between the locations of those maps or the style of gameplay, those are the two silver bullets that could make this game not go down very well. But I think we will get that variety, and if we're lucky, we will get that polish. You know? I don't know, MZ with a 78-meter gunny. I mean, you know, some of us, you know... It took me a while to figure out that you could highlight somebody with your paddles. Some of the maps are a little bit smaller, Mauser. I would say that Siege of Cairo and Empire State are what we would consider to be Bad Company style maps. But they also happen to be two incredibly good maps, if I'm being perfectly frank. So yes, they are smaller, but they also are literally fantastic. Like, some of the best thing I've ever... Like, some of the best... Like, I genuinely believe that Cairo and Empire State will go down as two fan-favorite Battlefield maps. The same way Grand Bazaar are fan-favorite Battlefield maps. The same way Talal Market is a fan-favorite Battlefield map. Like, that is my thought and feeling surrounding the maps that we got to play. Like, if you like those sorts of ones, like Grand Bazaar, these maps are mental. Who is the Battlefield 6 gameplay dash review players? Those are press. So there was one whole room for streamers, and there was another whole room for press. So the guys who are BF6 dash rev, those are just the press guys. I don't think it's glaze at all, Snicks. Like I say, the final package needs to have variation. But in my view, I rate Siege of Cairo and Empire State to the same caliber and degree that I rate Grand Bazaar. Like, in terms of it being an S-tier map, these are two S-tier maps. Like, if you think Talal Market and Grand Bazaar are great, you're going to love those two maps. Like, if you liked Aftermath from Battlefield 3, you're going to like these maps. Honestly, Siege of Cairo reminds me of the Aftermath DLC from Battlefield 3. Tight, close-quarter fights in some alleyways, lots of destructions on the exterior of the buildings. There was just some really nice elements of it. Do you think that this will affect COD, or at the very least make Activision rethink their current strategy? They're going down a very, very rough path. I don't think they care, if I'm honest. I think it's been very refreshing to see that EA and DICE seemingly want to listen to their audience. Like I've said, I've been giving feedback for Battlefield 6 as early as 2024. So they've contacted me. I know people who have been giving feedback for even longer than that. Whereas in Battlefield 2042, I actually didn't hear from EA once. I didn't hear from EA or DICE until the game was revealed. Like, you know, and I never got to play the game early. I never got to give any feedback on the game early. None of it. And that's something that I had been done for Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1. So it kind of feels like, from a development standpoint and from a communications standpoint, they went, hey, we tried doing our own thing and making something completely over the top with 2042, and we got it wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty safe to say that, like, they recognize that by not including people in the lead up to 2042, there were key decisions that were made about that game that just wouldn't have been made had that feedback loop existed. Like, how many of us would have said yes to Heroes? None. How many of us would have said yes to 128 players? Very few. So this kind of feels like a direct response to that. It kind of feels like they're sort of saying, well, look, we made 2042. We didn't, you know, really nail it. We got it wrong. Now we're making Battlefield 6, and we actually are speaking to our audience again. 14 maps is not correct. That number is completely incorrect. There are 9 maps on release. They've said that at the reveal. There obviously will be maps fairly soon with Season 1. But, like, you know, some of the maps that have been quote-unquote leaked online shouldn't be considered to be gospel. Select this question. What's the little cylinder thing you keep putting down as the engineer? That is the new blowtorch, which is the repair tool. That's the repair tool that you can use to heal vehicles. Oh my god. Those guys just had their lives snatched away from them in front of me. Make a prediction. Will EA take the cheating issue seriously? I have Ricochet PTSD. Yes. I think I said this on Pulse Check last night, and I'm going to say it again now, for those of you who didn't watch Pulse Check. If you missed it, by the way, we were on Hector's Pulse Check podcast last night. It was sick. Had a really good time. Me, Westy, Stodd, Repulse, and Benny Central. Like, I think you can tell a lot about a company's intention based on how they approach anti-cheat. Battlefield's Javelin anti-cheat has been data training on older versions of Battlefield for years. There is gyro aim, Daniel. I've had a lot of questions about that. So Javelin has been used in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 2042 for a while now to collect data on what cheating looks like, right? On top of that, the secure boot is nice. It's another hurdle. It's another problem for cheaters to have to deal with. And so, like, including secure boot in Battlefield 6, for me, is a statement of intent, right? It's saying to people that we don't care if this is an inconvenience. If it means there are less cheaters, we're doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, Call of Duty are unwilling to do certain things, like with their anti-cheat, because they don't want to inconvenience people. Like, mandatory two-factor authentication is not a requirement for Warzone, right? Whereas Battlefield is saying, we don't care if you literally have to go into your BIOS to change something. If it's an inconvenience, you'll do it if you want to play the game. Right? And that, to me, says that they care more about stopping cheaters than they do about inflating their player count numbers. Which, to me, is a good sign. Did I turn off the music? I turned it down when I was playing, because I don't like getting distracted. Like, so that's already, for me, a great first impression for their new anti-cheat. I also like the fact that they didn't overly hype it up. They just said, look, it's something we have and it's something we're working on. And I also like, and this is probably the biggest thing about Javelin for me, when they were talking about the anti-cheat, it was kind of you know, this anti-cheat's been built from the ground up with this game. Do you know what I mean? Like, this has been built from the ground up for this game, for 2042. It's not an anti-cheat that's being slapped onto the side. And another big thing, and this is something that's going to be really, really great, is if you are on console, matchmaking will prefer consoles first. So it's called preferred matchmaking, and this is something that's in Battlefield 6. Crossplay is on, you know, you can still play with people who are on PC, but if you are in a console-only party and you are matchmaking, Battlefield 6 will pull console players into your game first before it starts seeding in PC players. Fantastic. Which is a massive W for console. Like, it means that if the anti-cheat situation does deteriorate in certain parts of the game, because every anti-cheat is going to have its struggles, you know, there's no silver bullet, it means that the console players aren't going to be inundated with cheaters. And I think that's such a huge, fantastic thing to start with straight away. I'll be playing on Steam, Dane. I'm turning off crossplay, I ain't playing no PC play. That's what I'm saying, Jay, you don't have to do that. Preferred matchmaking is going to do that for you. You can turn off crossplay, but your matchmaking times are going to be chalked. You have the ability to kind of let Battlefield seed console players for you. So, I expect Javelin, if Ricochet is like an F, I expect Javelin to be like a B, B-. In terms of anti-cheat. Not to mention the fact that this is a paid game, right? So, like, you know, if you're cheating in the multiplayer, every time you cheat, you're going to have to go and spend another 50 quid. Obviously, it's a little bit different for the BR, which is probably going to be free to play. What's the reasoning for Steam? Weren't there issues with Warzone for performance? Yes, but that's because Call of Duty development is basically papier-mâché, whereas Battlefield probably won't have any performance issues on Steam. Battlefield Labs has been on Steam for a while now, actually. So, you know, they've made some really intelligent decisions around how their anti-cheat's working. I think they've made some very big statements of intent of what they are willing to do to stop cheating. So, I think it's a good first start for them, you know? I'm happy with it. 200 plus creators streaming at the same time. What sorcery of internet did they have at this event? Do you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give some people their flowers. I don't know who necessarily put the entire event together, but I know it was a big collaborative effort from a lot of people at EA, various production companies, yada, 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 right? So, obviously, we got to speak to our contacts at EA, who are two guys called Mitch and Tom, and they actually took our feedback for the event itself. They said, look, we're putting this event together, you know, what, like, is there anything we need to relay to the higher-ups on how this event has to work, right? Now, when I did COD Next, our bitrate was capped. When COD Next happened last year for Black Ops 6, half the PCs in the venue crashed because they didn't do a power draw test. So these events are hard to do. So I said, look, you know, there are two things that need to happen for this event. One, somebody has to put all of the PCs on Prime 95, right? And run them at, like, max power draw to make sure that no breakers get tripped. They did that. Two, we need to have good upload speed. We get to our stations at LA. Granted, it wasn't perfect, you know, we're playing on different setups, but they were good. We had an entire tech day to set up our settings, get our stream settings ready. Not only did they check to make sure that power draw wouldn't be a problem, we were all given 100 upload speed each. 100 upload each. So if you do the math, 100 upload each across 200 creators, that is 20 gig internet. So they must have been using some kind of like 50 or even 100 gig line connection. So, you know, a real credit to the guys at EA, the production teams and the tech teams who worked on that reveal event in Los Angeles. Like, that is the best put together event for something like this I've ever seen. To start with, like, you know, that's 100% just like better than any other event I've ever been to. And like actually getting our feedback on it and talking about it, unreal.
The enemy are attacking objective Alpha.
Be advised, all fast and seize Bravo.
Do you know if we're adding platoons back? I don't know. It is something that we asked the question for.
They're tracking you outside the combat zone.
So the BR will be confirmed, like free to play eventually. I don't think like they haven't really announced anything with the BR because I don't think they have a set release date for it. I think the reason you've not heard a lot of information about the BR is because internally the release date for it is still up for question. I think they know it's something, it's being tested in Battlefield Labs, as you could see from the teaser trailer, which means that they're probably not going to release it until they feel that it's comfortable and in a good state. So for me, it kind of reads as though the BR, which obviously is going to be free to play because they're trying to get allegedly 100 million players, that won't happen until they're comfortable with it being in a good space. So, you know, for me, it kind of reads as like the Battle Royale for this game doesn't have a set release date. I still think it will be in 2025. I don't think it will be 2026. I think they might aim for like November, December. But it will be after the release of the multiplayer. That's my thinking for this. I'm on a fucking tear, by the way. Can we talk about this? You guys didn't get to see this footage. You got to see... I mean, don't get me wrong. I played well on the stream as well. But, like, you didn't get to see this footage of me roaming around dealing damage. You know what I'm saying?
Bravo has been neutralized.
How was the netcode in desync? I can't really comment on it until we play the beta because we were in a closed environment, antagonist. But it definitely was 60 hertz, I would say that. It definitely was 60 hertz. What other questions have we got? How strong is aim assist? Do we think PC players can compete? I don't think aim assist is strong at all. I think it's incredibly well balanced. I think if you're a PC player on keyboard and mouse, you'll be happy with it. I think if you're a console player, you'll be happy with it. I do think the out-of-the-box settings need work. But other than that, I think it's pretty decent. How do you like the game? Is it like BF4 or 2042? It's kind of like Battlefield 3 and 4 had a baby with the movement system of Battlefield 5. That's the way I describe it. That's the kind of feel I have for it. Did you hear any of the reactions from the people at the event when you did something great? Not really. No. I actually haven't watched the official live stream feed back. I saw my own interview and I haven't seen anything else. So like I don't really know what they were saying on the main feed. I know me, Westy, Stodd, and Benny featured quite a lot on the main feed because I think like we were just having a lot of fun, dude. Because we kind of had this sort of like epiphany, if you will. Like we kind of had this sort of epiphany of like sorry, I just that's a funny message to receive. I use Wavelink at home. Like I use this software called Elgato Wavelink, and that was the software we were given at the venue. So I went through all of our PCs and set up our comms. So I think you guys can agree at home, right? If you were watching, bearing in mind I'm in a room with 200 creators, cameras, dudes screaming their balls off, right? The audio was pretty good. Like the mic audio that we achieved was pretty good. So shout out to Elgato, because they were the guys who were at the event. They have something called focus mode on their microphones, which is what I use anyway. And like, they just did a great job with it. So basically, I went to all of our PCs and split our audio up so that you guys could hear, like, me, Benny, Stodd, Westy together and hear us playing. So, like, we were having a lot of fun because we were on comms together. So I think we ended up being in the main feed a lot because of that. You were too smooth in the interview. Chill, fam. My girl lives here in the States. Look. Listen. They have a boyfriend until they don't. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. Did you accidentally leak anything again? No. No, I did not. Actually, yes. Yes and no, right? Yes and no. So, yes and no. I did technically leak something, but it wasn't my fault. And it wasn't just me. I leaked 2 things, but it wasn't just me. Okay? So the first one was... I didn't leak any of the content, because I was... Like, I couldn't tell if you lot could tell, but I was pressed, bro. I was told that I was going to this interview like 5 to 10 minutes before it happened. And I'm like, sorry, what do you mean I'm going to an interview? Like, what? They said, yeah, by the way, bro, you're the first interview on the stream today, and we're not going to tell you the questions, so you have like 5 minutes. We're just going to pull you off your stream in 5 minutes. So that was quite stressful. And then in front of me, I had a paper booklet that we were given, and I had written down all of my NDAs. Here's when I can say this, here's when I can say this, here's when I can say this, right? We had all put chatbots live in our live streams that weren't supposed to activate until a certain time. Unfortunately for all of us, the chatbots went live when we went live, which meant that the release date of October 10th was, shall we say, for the perceptive of you, accidentally put out in the wild before it was supposed to be. Thankfully, because the release date had already leaked, most of you didn't even notice. So thanks for that. The other one was like, so I wasn't allowed to talk about any feedback I'd given the game until like 12 o'clock. Like, I wasn't allowed to talk about any feedback I'd given until midday in the US. I wasn't allowed to talk about the shoes because the shoes came from one of those events. I wasn't allowed to talk about the backpacks, any of the stuff I had on me. Like, I wasn't allowed to talk about, like, anything, right? And the interviewer goes to me, by the way, we're going to mention the shoes. And it dawns on me that they said this at 10:30. My embargo for the shoes and for the feedback stuff dropped at 12. So I basically just had to be like in my head I was like, well look, I'm literally about to have this interview. There's no way I can call somebody quickly to double check that it's fine to talk about the shoes, right? So like, I basically just thought to myself, look, at the end of the day, is this something that's gonna look cool? Are EA going to like it? Should I just do it anyway and we'll be calm? So I basically just found it. Like, I just said, look, at the end of the day, like, it's gonna look cool on camera. People are gonna like it. It's gonna look sick. Like, who cares, right? Thankfully, it was fine. But yeah, like, there's a couple of techie areas where, like, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, like as a content, I hate leaking things. I hate leaks generally. And it's just because I know how much work goes into behind the scenes. Like, I know so many developers on video games, so many people who work at these companies who, like, work so hard on these releases, work so hard on the campaigns behind these releases. And, like, I hate leaks because it's so, like, disrespectful from a content standpoint of, like, you know, a few clicks for me and, like, a few views, whatever, right? But for somebody else who's been working on this game, that's, you know, 6 months of work down the drain. Do you know what I mean? So I've never liked leaks. I do my best to sort of, if there is a leak, I try my best to sort of respectfully cover it in a way that isn't, you know, annoying. So, you know, I had all of those NDAs out on the sheet and I really wanted to make sure nothing went wrong. So, like, I was a little bit frazzled. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was a little bit frazzled. Like, even the wording in the interview where they were like, oh, where'd you get the shoes from? I'm like, oh, yeah, man. Like, I was working with the guys at EA to get these shoes. Like, I did my best to, like, avoid talking about everything and anything. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is certainly... I mean, inevitably, some things accidentally did leak from that event. You know, every once in a while, a content creator gets something wrong. People are human. You know, I accidentally leaked Urzikstan for Warzone because I was told the wrong NDA, which obviously wasn't my fault, but it just happens, right? But I think they did a great job on it. I think, like, at the end of the day, like, some of it didn't really even matter. Like, you know, people just wanted to see the core gameplay. You know, they didn't care about what it, like, you know, they didn't care about, you know, seeing the first screenshot or the first... They just wanted to see the game. They wanted to see people playing the game and having fun. So, yeah, like, it's one of those, like... Like, I think, you know, it was a really cool event. I was a little bit stressed, I ain't gonna lie. Like, when the event finished, my brain was in, like, a different planet, dude. Like, because the thing is, as well, it wasn't just, like, I will be honest with you, and this is just me keeping it 100 with you lot. Like, I was quite stressed that I had been in Warzone for so long that people wouldn't want to see me play another game. By the way, how cool is that? Hold up. Oh, no, it skipped. Wait. I need to write this down quickly. Like, you can actually see me snipe somebody who's mid-revive here. Like, he's being dragged away. Look at that. So I get one dude. And then, like, he starts dragging him away, and I shoot him again. That's sick. So, like, I was a little bit stressed in the lead up to the event of, like, you know, look, I've been away from Battlefield for a really long time. Like, obviously, because I just ultimately didn't enjoy 2042. So will people even remember that I was a Battlefield content creator? And there were a lot of people who didn't. And, like, it was a little bit stressful in the sense of, like, am I just going to get crushed, right? Like, I'm at this event with all these massive content creators. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm a fairly sizable content creator. I'm fairly well known. You know, I'm kind of a big deal. No, I'm sorry, that actually hurt. But, like, I'm sat, and right behind me is Scump, Nadeshot, Swag, and Adrian. You know, we're talking about, you know, guys who are kind of in a different stratosphere of content creation. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, guys who are known. So, like, for me, it was kind of a little bit stressful of, like, I think your PC will be fine, Joker. It was kind of a bit stressful of, like, you know, will I just get crushed in the search results and, like, am I actually really going to get anything out of this? Will my viewership be bad? Like, because when everybody's live at the same time, sometimes your viewership can just fall off a cliff. But the opposite happened. All of a sudden, like, you know, I was on the main stage and my phone, I had to turn off my phone. Like, I had so many notifications come through on my phone, I had to turn it off. And then, like, we had, like, what, nearly 2,000 of you in the actual live stream itself, watching me live on the day. And then, yeah, it went as good as I could have asked it to go. As a content creator, like, you know, we did well. Our stream was up there in the search directory. We got loads of viewers. You know, we sort of, during the live stream showcase, I think me and the boys did a really good job of showcasing how much fun you can have. So, you know, it was exciting, dude. Like, you know, it was nice to kind of be there and feel a bit of appreciation from the Battlefield community, because, like, there were a lot of guys who were at the actual event itself, and also guys commenting online who, like, know that we haven't been in Battlefield for a while. They know we've been away from the game for a couple of years now. And to see all of them go, like, holy shit, like, Stod, Westy, Tactical Brit are back playing Battlefield again, like, that was really cool. Like, it wasn't even a case of, like, get these grubby Warzone guys away from my game. It was more like oh, these OG Battlefield dudes are back now. Like, that was cool. Like, that was really nice to see. Like, I literally had, I think I finished the stream, and I think I looked down at my phone. It's something stupid, like 1,000 notifications. Like, 1,000 notifications of just, like, you know, just good to see you. You did great. Like, your stream was sick. Yada, yada, yada. Like, ultimately, me and the boys play whatever we play just because we have fun. Like, we have fun in most games. But, like, to play a series and franchise that we all really, really love and to have fun with it, I mean, come on. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, we all, you know, came up on Battlefield, right? So to be able to go into Battlefield as a group, have fun in a game that we enjoy playing, like, that's sick, dude. Is there a TV missile? I think there is a TV missile, but I think it's the chopper gunner that has that. This game, we got slammed, by the way. Crimsix, who's like a COD pro, went crazy on this match. He's also, I think he plays a lot of Battlefield too.
Marked objective is under threat. Defend the position.
Like, so, you know, it was really nice. It almost kind of felt like a coming home event for us in the end. For like me, Westy, Stod. And, you know, even people like Tomo and whatnot, like, you know, they've been doing variety content. We've all been doing variety content, but we all have our roots in Battlefield. So the event kind of felt like a coming home event for us. And honestly, shout out to Stod as well, because bro smashed it. Bro hit like 7,000 on YouTube, 17,000 live on Twitch. Like, Stod was in a different stratosphere, and he deserves it. He really, really deserves it, because he's been doing Battlefield for a long, long time now. And he, you know, he's just a good dude. Like, so I was really, honestly, like, I finished the event, and like when I got back to the hotel, it kind of like hit me. Like, you know, it kind of hit me of like, holy shit, like me and my friends who all love this franchise got to play a game that we all really enjoyed playing, and all of us crushed it. Like, all of us did sick. All of our streams popped off. All of our content's flying. Like, I was just sort of sad. Like, honestly, it's probably the most grateful I've ever felt as a content creator to sort of like come from a situation of like, I'm streaming something like Warzone right now where I'm not really enjoying it, but I'm lucky to have a good group of people around me and we make it fun, to holy shit, I'm playing a franchise that I already have a lot of time and love for with my friends, and we're all popping off. Like, I've never felt anything like it, really. Like, in terms of like content creator, like top 5 experiences I've had as a creator, 100%. Yeah, I play controller on PC, Wes, Chris. Like, just having us being able to play a game we enjoy, sick. Can you explain how Breakthrough differs from Rush? So Rush has MCOMs that you plant bombs on. Breakthrough is more like capture circles, like Conquest. Ultimately, it's kind of similar in the sense that you can defuse an MCOM and you can uncapture an objective in Breakthrough, but it's actually more about making a clutch arm or disarm as opposed to capturing a point. I much prefer Battlefield 6 to BF1 personally, Ted. I wasn't a big Battlefield 1 fan. I appreciate Battlefield 1 for what it was, but the gunplay for me ruined that game. And kind of on the flip side of it as well, like the, what's the word I'm looking for? It was kind of nice to see, it was kind of nice to see like some of the guys who have been working, like I've, you know, not that I know him very well, but you know, I've seen Serland at like multiple Battlefield events at this point. You know, this guy practically lives and breathes this shit. It was a little bit like former Mr. Battlefield himself, Lars, right? Like, it's nice to see guys who have like been working on the game for a really long time now, working really hard on the game, to see their game be so well publicly received. It must have been a very validating moment for them. Like, imagine you're a dev, like, who you joined in 2042, right? Where you're just, like, constantly getting flamed on the internet for this game that maybe was partially something you worked on, or maybe you didn't even have any say in it at all. And then now you've produced a game where everybody's like, yo, you produced a game, bro. Like, it was nice to see those guys kind of feel like they were enjoying it too. Like, it feels like the vibe I got from a lot of the people at, like, DICE, and, like, at sort of Criterion and Motive, like all the various studios working on it, like it kind of felt like they were quite proud of what they had made. So, you know, I was happy for them to kind of experience that. Like the devs doing their like interviews in the reveal trailer where like shit's like crashing behind them and stuff, that was cool. Nice question, Westy, thank you. Westy, now seems like a great time to tell you that this live stream is currently being played in Criterion's office. Westy's just joined the chat and asked, will there be sex in Battlefield 6? Please confirm.
We have regained control of the objective.
Oh, God, dude. Whole event was sick. I really enjoyed it. Absolutely bottled out. Oh, gosh. I believe we were on 5070s and some kind of Intel i7 or i9 DA, and we were getting enough frames that I didn't care about the frames. That's the way I would describe it. We had enough. I wasn't using DLSS. I was only using reflex. We were getting enough frames that I did not give a shit about frames, and I didn't have frame generation on. Like, I didn't feel the need to check my performance. Do you know what I mean? What's on my shirt? This is just a bullshit Gymshark vest, bro. I've basically just started exclusively streaming in vests, just because they're so cozy to wear whilst I'm live. I can get the shoulder movement going. I did that really quickly and nearly hurt myself. So, Joker, if I'm correct, you're a GTA streamer, aren't you? Your name rings a bell. Like an RP player or something, right? Westy's first stream title on launch is going to be beating off 32 men in the new Battlefield. Yes. Yes, it will be. How was the visual clutter? Were enemies hard to see? I didn't have any issues with it. I think they do have a subtle ring lighting on the models. I might be wrong, but it felt like the models were slightly illuminated in dark spaces, which definitely helped. There were very few instances where I felt like I couldn't see somebody. That being said, I will say, going prone and not moving a lot in this game is incredibly clutch. Because a lot of people run around a lot in this game at like the speed of light, and when somebody's just stationary, they tend to go straight past them. PvP GTA Online. Oh, sweet, nice. I thought it rang a bell. What do you see from Paul? Do you think scripting AI to ally zombies and flood with waves would be possible? Yes. In fact, I believe, I don't want to misquote them, but I believe in an article, a DICE developer actually did state that that was the case. They had already created a horde mode behind closed doors. See, here's the thing that I think about Portal, right? And I don't think this is something people have really thought about yet. I think people will be able to use Portal as a photo mode or like a cinema mode. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the... hold on, we're going to do some Battlefield history. Sorry. We're doing some Battlefield history here. Right. We're going to do some Battlefield history, and I'm sorry if this is a pause of the gameplay, but some of you need to be educated. Some of you need to be educated on the history of Battlefield, and we're doing a history lesson, right? So back in the day, there was a series of content creators who used to make their own cinematics. Burdu, who now works at DICE, if I recall correctly. Floppy Ragdoll, who also now works at... I think all of these guys now work on the trailer team, if I recall correctly. They might have moved on by now, but I know that Burdu moved to work at DICE, Floppy Ragdoll worked at DICE, Kudu Operator, who's the guy who made this one, he now works at Rockstar. He does the trailers for Rockstar. So this guy literally makes Grand Theft Auto trailers now. But this is an old Battlefield 4 cinematic made like 10 years ago. Right? I think Battlefield Portal could be used to make these. stopping it from using Battlefield Portal to make their own cinematics or make their own thumbnails. If you're working at Battlefield and you're seeing this live, please give us a green screen map. Thanks. With lighting options. So I can make custom thumbnails. Unrealistic. Battlefield is never disorganized. No wonder they do the actual trailers now. Yeah, pretty much. This is cinema. This is literal cinema. This is some Battlefield history for those of you who weren't around back then. I mean, people used to make these in custom servers. This is aged so incredibly well, by the way. You can see why these people are now all industry professionals. And, Christ, let me find, he's gotta have some still. Like, there's no way he's taking them offline. Burdu used to make incredible Battlefield stuff. Verdu who did... I'm trying to remember if he had copyrighted music on them. That's the only thing I'm trying to remember. Okay, this doesn't appear to be copyrighted, but Verdu used to do... frozen part of the game and then frozen other parts of the game.
Your baby got a mouthful of lies. Don't you love it?
I'm gonna turn off the audio just in case, but like, he used to make these. And all of these people now work at professional companies, by the way. Like, Burdu works at... I don't know if he still does, but I'm pretty sure he does. He works at DICE making trailers now. Floppy Ragdoll, again, I think he also used to do cinematics. He's now like one of the lead dudes who makes trailers at DICE. And Hoodoo Operator works at Rockstar making trailers for Grand Theft Auto. I mean, look how creative this shit is. You know? So, you know, Battlefield history lesson for all of you. I would love a version of Portal where we can make cinematics. If you're watching at various offices in different parts of the world, give us camera features, please. Give us dolly cams. Adam, thank you for the 1 month. Can't tell you how many times I've watched the Tommy Chopper Smash. Proper got me. Honestly, funny as hell. So bearing in mind, right, we're at this event, right? It's a sponsored stream for EA, and like obviously normally you try to just like keep the swearing to a minimum. It might happen every once in a while. 39 months, Mad Jock. Goodness gracious. Gosh, we can be like mothers who refuse to admit that their children are 3. How old's your son? Yeah, 39 months, mate. Don't you mean they're 3? Joker, thank you for the 1 gifted, guys. Sorry there aren't any alerts right now. They are being rejigged as we speak, which is why the alert box isn't appearing, including a new audio that we may have gotten from that event. Lachlan, you cut. Actually, wait, I have the audio file. Hold on. Could just play it on stream. I mean, why not?
Lachlan, you can't! Lachlan, you can't!
Oh dear. So should we run the full clip? Do you guys want to see the full clip? For those of you who haven't seen it, I honestly think it's a work of art, really. I mean, there'll never be anything like it. I forget, did I post that on this PC or did I? No, I posted it whilst I was on the go still. Here we go. Yes, okay. Let me try and like full screen this. I need to do this in a way that like doesn't expose anything on Twitter, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. Here we go. So if you haven't seen this clip, it's basically legendary, but this is possibly, in my view, this is the best Battlefield 6 clip that currently exists online.
Yeah, okay, okay. He is. Okay, he is.
Chopper?
Small arms fire on choppers, by the way.
Let's go! Come on!
Let's go!
Can you turn it down?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Fucking Lachlan, you can't!
We're live on stream, Tommy.
Alright, they changed the rules.
Sponsored.
They changed the rules.
That's what gets me the most. This is the best part about this. Tomo has literally, we have been live on stream for all of 2 minutes. I mean, it has literally been like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, right? Like, and Tommy, like Tomo, not Tommy from Two Angry Gamers, Tomographic, literally unmutes his mic and goes, oh, I wonder, I'm turning on the comms now, guys. I wonder how long it's going to take for Tommy to say cunt. And then literally, like, a few seconds later... Like,
Can you turn it down?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Fucking Lachlan, you can't!
We're live on stream, Tommy.
Alright, they changed the rules.
Sponsored.
They changed the rules.
we're live on stream, Tommy. We're sponsored. It's fine. They changed the rules. Oh my god. They changed the rules. I want to find it on Tomo's stream quickly. Oh god. It's great that nobody at EA even gave a shit. They all found it really, really funny because sometimes like some companies and some sponsors are like really iffy about you like swearing or doing anything crazy like that. But wait, I want to find it. By the way, Tomo was live with a face cam, which, you know, he doesn't usually do, so fair play. Like first time Tomo face reveal? Question mark? Hold up, let me find it, honestly. So from Tomo's POV, bro.
Oh my god, he went flying. Early access 7th to the 8th. Weekend 1, open beta 9 to the 10. It's a bit scrambled. Gaming! That's all the information. If I could get mods to convey that info, I know it's a bit scrambled. We're getting it while we're here. It's not convenient. But yes.
This is great.
I'm gonna do some sniping. This is the only sniper I can use, I believe. Factory M20110. And I'll try and do some vehicle stuff. So there is a slide, but it's more of a kind of version of the game.
I'm gonna find it.
It's not my preferred way to play back.
Someone literally says, I'm gonna turn on comms.
Great, but I think there are things. Me, I killed him. Oh my god, he went flying. Chat. Oh, Discord chat. Let's...
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my god, he went flying. That tank just blasted him to heaven I come. Alright guys, I'm back in game chat. Oh, Discord chat. Let's go.
Alright, we're gonna support you in there.
Oh, you're in the heli, not the tank.
Turn it.
Yeah, we're shouting a bit. We're live on stream, Tommy. We're sponsored.
They changed the rules.
They changed the rules to where the C word is allowed in sponsored content now. I literally started my stream. I was like, chat, how long are we going to wait until Tommy says the C-U-N-T? It was not long. It was not long.
Someone literally says, I'm gonna turn on Discord comms in like all of 30 seconds. Oh, speaking of Tomo. Oh man. Oh god. That honestly, that's watching that back has made my day. That's so funny. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, that was a laugh I needed. Thank you again for exceptional British comms.
Objective marked. Support the attack.
I'm pretty sure I have no gameplay.
Advised, enemy sniper confirmed in your area.
We must be on.
The enemy cannot sustain any more losses. Wipe them out.
Okay, no, we are on the last clip of this, so we will go to our live stream footage now. Oh man, that was truly sensational. Yes, controller settings guide is happening today. For those of you who missed it, controller settings guide is happening today. Great sponsored content. That's amazing. Do you know what? Honestly, I got off the plane because, like, you know, love to my US gangs, but you guys don't really love that word. We use it as more of an adjective. So, like, I got off the plane and I felt like a decompressor. I was like, wow, I can finally say cunt in public without people thinking I'm a terrible person. Sponsored cut. Oh god, honestly, that really tickled me. It really did. I'm trying to see what footage makes sense here, because I've got to tell you, I've got lots of it. So we're probably going to break into like live stream footage.
Right, you can barely hear.
Can you hear the guys loud and clear, chat?
Yeah, chat, can you hear loud?
I want to do the Empire State game.
A little video.
Yeah, let's do the Empire State game, because that one was sick. It's worth it. But the Empire State game is possibly one of the best.
Straight ahead.
Like, this is some of the best games. It wasn't the first game, it was the second game, so we lost the first
Bet my
game.
hat on it, there's an Easter egg for that.
Well, you know, this is Battlefield.
Look back, dude. Have you already done this?
The dinosaurs.
So insane.
I'm
so
saying
cool,
a T-Rex takes out the bridge.
I'm going to turn it down so you can hear me over our comms. Let me know if this is audibly balanced about right, chat.
Takes it out.
Like, I want you guys to be able to hear me instead of us talking in the
They're pushing
past.
C heavy as well, by the way.
Wow, I just got toasted.
Mate, could somebody ask Courage how he's managed to find all the cheese instantly?
He found every
He loves it, mate.
They're on C. They're on C.
Yeah, C and D are.
I have a friend living in Brooklyn. This shit is accurate.
Dude, this is absolutely
So this game is nuts because at one point in this game, we are down to the enemies by like 400 tickets.
Oh, it's going.
Which one's the real you? I'm scared. I'm the real one here. I'm really sorry. Don't worry. Past Lachlan can't hurt you.
Around the corner of the container, dude.
Come on, bro. Yes.
What was your highest elimination streak during the event playing as infantry, if you can't remember? The controlled chaos element? About 25, Nitro? And then I ran out of ammo. Like this is one of the most impressive rounds of Battlefield I think I've seen in some time. If you can tell, the parachute's not quite working. Well, they basically, what they need to do is they've clearly made the parachutes to work really well in the Battle Royale, and obviously very clearly need to separate how they work in multiplayer.
Got the shotgun.
But for the purposes of us doing this, let me just...
We've not done this objective before.
Yeah, we did it from the low.
You dead?
let me drag myself in front of my former self.
There's a couple
So you can see me, not past me. I'm gonna...
head glitch.
Let's get this locked in. Come on. We're the squad who makes a difference here, fellas.
Yeah, so we started losing this round by... But by the way, please do let me know if the
We roll.
audio balance for this is
Nah,
about
nah,
right.
nah, nah. Yeah, actually, no, you're right.
We were down by like 400
Yeah, straight to
tickets
see.
during this
Office.
process.
Good
Like
flank.
we should have lost this game.
We need to hit that objective.
I've got combat simulant as well.
Like on the opposite team to us was Crimsix, Nadeshot, Scump, Huskers, Cheese Paladin, Rogue,
Around that corner.
Tim the
They're
Tap Man.
flooding from sea.
So basically, like we started losing this game, right? And I just said to the boys,
HQ to A.
right, look,
If you
rather
die.
than us all working together, we should spread out and all try and hit an objective each and try and be like a deciding factor on each objective.
HQ to A. HQ to A.
I'll tell you what, switching to iPhone has really bugged me out. There's certain like hot...
pressing the
But
button.
you know when you move to like a new device that you're not familiar with, there's so many things like that I'm not used to that I'm still getting used to. Like swiping away notifications. Like, I just swipe my notifications on Android in any given direction, but on an iPhone you have to like swipe them down to get rid of them specifically. There's a lot of weird things that I'm still getting used to. There are some things that they definitely do better,
Anyone got that
but there are a lot of
ball?
things where I'm like, why is this the way it is?
I've already popped it down though.
iPhone's gestures are wank. I would agree, and I am on the new like liquid glass iOS 26
Running
thing.
back here. We don't need you.
Yeah.
We should have started with this map.
Hi, message me, babes.
Yeah, mate.
Do you know what? That's crazy, Riz. I'm gonna text somebody and be like, "Wagwan, babes, you're my first iMessage."
All game modes ever
Yes.
Right, let's go.
You'll figure it out. It takes a little adjustment. Yeah, there are a little bit like there are some things that I definitely
sir.
appreciate more, like the way it uses like the dynamic island and stuff has been great. But there are some things where I'm like, sorry, what, like, why can't I reply to this notification without having to open the notification? And then there's another thing where it's like, why do I have to swipe a notification in a certain direction for it to do a certain
guys,
thing?
let's extend to C.
Like
I think
on
our
Android,
team's
you
zerging
literally
this.
press the notification, go whoosh, and it's gone.
Try and
Like-
extend to C.
There's a delay on the RPG.
Or like
Yeah, there is.
swiping left sometimes takes you back, but sometimes doesn't take you to the home menu.
Extend to C.
Like there's a couple of things that I'm just gonna have to get used to. It's like finding new shortcuts again.
Oh no, I thought I hit the
Do you know what I
wall.
mean? Like it's like finding shortcuts on a laptop. That's the way I would describe it. But to be fair, like I say, for airdropping purposes, very helpful.
There are people everywhere there.
I
Mate,
Stone
I've
Mountain.
lost so many tags.
I Stone Mountain.
There's too many people at long range. I got.
Stoddy live. Stoddy live.
I'm alive, but they're pushing me. They're pushing me. They're pushing me. Give me a sec.
We have to go from B again.
Have you seen that? It gives you like a body cam on your friend
There's
list.
like 4 people.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Well, 4-piece. Whoosh, whoosh. Dropped out, whoosh, then I eat an aid.
Oh no, I ain't need Huskers, mate. You got me. Got my bollocks in a vice.
your digits, mate.
There are some things on iPhone that definitely do work better, some nice quality of life features. So like, for example, I can share images to platforms without saving them on my phone. I like that a lot. Like, the amount of memes and stuff that I randomly pull from the internet that end up, like, sitting on my phone, where I can just go, oh, I can actually just directly share this to, like, Discord or WhatsApp or whatever, and then it doesn't actually save on my device. Very useful.
Like, we need to try and be difference makers on all objectives. I think that's how this goes down for us.
Defensive position needed.
So there's a couple of things, there's definitely a couple of things that they do better, but there's a couple of things from the Google Pixel 9 where I'm like, this is, like, definitely just done better on the Pixel.
B.
That being said, we are moving to the iPhone ecosystem
That's fine.
because
Yep,
the
that's what I'm with
MacBook
you.
is so good that using it on the go in conjunction with an iPhone is going to be very helpful for future events,
You bottled.
which there probably will be quite a few more of.
They're just gonna spawn. They're just gonna keep spawning here, but if I get on the point, I die.
And it's all a business expense, so GG. One thing I will say, though, and this is the one thing that's taken genuine getting used to,
Trying to just
the Pixel 9 Pro's screen responsiveness in terms of, even though the refresh rate is the same, like, the Pixel 9 Pro's screen responsiveness is like
I'm gonna get to you guys. I'm gonna get to you.
twice or 3 times
We're getting slammed. Wesley, stay alive.
the iPhone.
No, I can't.
Like, even though they're both 120 hertz,
We have to stick together, guys.
I'm assuming the polling rate is like different. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the technical factor behind it is, but like the responsiveness of a Google phone compared to
Yeah, but they're on A right now.
the other is mad.
Footsteps ghost, footsteps ghost.
No, no, dead again. Dead again.
Alpha is under attack.
Wow.
We have secured more objectives. Let's hold it.
Got A.
We have reestablished objective control.
What are you lot even talking about in chat? I have no idea what's going on.
Loads of people on the back line. Behind you, behind you.
In the building, in the building. Yeah, 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 call it out. In the shops. They're just sitting in the shop together.
Can we get through the back into that shop or not?
Objective Charlie.
No, you can't. You literally can't.
Thought it's Battlefield 6 review, not an Android v Apple battle.
It's like
Well, you know,
like
it's
the,
just it's one of those
locker
things that happened at the
little
event.
alleyways.
BF1, Amiens.
Like at the event, I literally ended up having to. The overlay of the camera looks like it's still at the event. Well, you know, it's funny, isn't it?
Healing in the alley.
Oh, there is
Time
no way
Lord
you're sat
omnipresent.
there.
I can't even see that guy.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like,
I'm on B.
Yeah, I ended up needing to airdrop a lot of stuff to my MacBook whilst I was at the event, so I just went, do you know what, screw it, I'm going to go home and buy an iPhone.
We're getting there, guys. We're clawing it back a little bit.
Expect me to make a goth IHOP map? Are you trying to attract some goth baddies? What's going on, Michael? If so, where's my invite?
Run through it. Okay, you might be able to
Looks
throw
like you're
it.
still at the event. I'm seeing things.
Yes,
I'm so good at this.
Be advised, Delta is under attack.
I'm so good at this. Gosh.
I'll say that and then get shotgun.
So we're like at this point we're 450 tickets to 774. So we're losing quite considerably.
Teammate.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my word, I just went big.
Oh, there's a load of people on C. They're just all sitting on C, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to try and
Yeah, they're all,
keep
like, out
pinstering
top
them,
as
dude.
well. I'm dead. I'm dead.
I need
Stod, I
healing.
don't know if you can get to me.
I don't think I can.
I'm on B. I'm gonna try and move across the sea. Okay.
Like we are getting slammed. Like at this moment in time in this game, we are losing considerably.
Insane movement. What the hell?
The enemy has taken
They're
Delta.
upstairs.
The enemy has
Can I get a
Free
ready?
piece.
Let's rally and counter.
Stod, you're on fire. You're on fire, Stod. You're on fire.
Got you.
Nice. Thank you.
The green screen is very good clickbait. I respect it.
Our squad
Nice.
needs to spread out, bro.
Well, to be fair, we are just going over around from the actual event itself, so. Oh, this is hilarious, dude. I just ran in here and there's a guy sat inside with his paddles out.
There's a guy in the toilets with his defibs out.
I mean, that doesn't sound good for anybody.
Where was that, Stod?
So we're losing 377 to 726. So we're getting
Jumps,
pumped.
so we're gonna be on the other side, so be ready for that on over.
If I'm honest, it's interesting seeing you guys talk about monetization. Obviously, we don't really know anything about that in terms of skins. I would
Joe,
say
I'm
the
gonna move-
marketing
I'm
has
gonna
been
move
deliberately
future
quite
me
grounded and
on
gritty,
just
and
so
I'd
you
be
guys don't get
surprised to see
bugged
them
out.
deviate away from that.
I'll put him on the other side. There you go.
We have no indication on what that's going to look like, but I think what their intentions are from the trailer are quite obvious. They want this to be a grounded military experience.
Be advised, Bravo is under attack. Attack support needed on the marked objective.
Oh,
Which one's the real one?
he's got a shot.
Great
He's a
question.
shot. No, no, no.
I'm attacking him.
Got him.
Nice. Well done.
You're getting double vision, fellas.
How about you dragging these nuts over your face?
We won't get the
Hey,
win,
look,
but
as
we'll
long
keep
as
our
we're top
pride.
squad, I'm happy.
Ahead in the fight.
Also, I'm the best in the damn business. I'll let everybody know.
290 tickets to 700. We are down.
Yeah, I get there's a bit of a
410
I just think, like,
tickets.
until we know what it looks like, enjoy it for what
How
it is.
mad is that? And we won this game.
And I think the marketing says a lot about the direction of the game, and I think they know.
Do you know how massive my schlong is to win this game?
Go right,
With
go
a
right.
410 ticket overcome.
Yeah, that's what I'm- I just want to say.
Which means they're
I whipped it out and I
They
said,
just need to hold the corners.
Book,
Be neutralized.
They're already pushing it.
we're just better. That's what I did.
Spawn A if you die.
Where's the safe?
All right, we now hold more objectives. Keep pushing.
Me and the
Actually,
boys
it's
slapped it
a
on the
shame our
desk and
team's
said,
kinda
you know
getting
what, big
their act
man?
together towards the end.
I'm 6 foot and 3 inches, and those are 2 separate measurements.
Want to let me rest you, Benny? I'm sorry. They're so good, don't worry.
Dear. Wait, hold on. Whilst we're doing this, whilst you guys are watching this,
He's down.
we need to talk about what the fuck are Americans doing when they're naming companies? Surely not. Me and Westy drove past
No one's on it. No one's
Handy J's car wash and oil change, right?
I got it, yeah, I got it.
Handy J's car wash and oil change. Morning Glory preschool, right? You tell me, right? You tell me. I'm not like, God, what was the other one? There was another one that we went past. The Village Bike.
I'm coming. I'm coming for you.
The Village Bike.
No, there's a guy at the front of the building.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Benny, thank you. Good shots.
Oh, touch me massages.
Front of the building. Front of the building. Front of the building.
Touch me massages. What do you... Sorry?
By the building, guys.
They're
Dead.
capping A.
And these were unironic names. These were just company names.
Oh, this is a horrible place to put.
Okay, I have so many questions, man.
Where are they on there again?
I think they'll handle team balancing. Like, there's no SBMM in, like, Battlefield. There never has been. But they probably will distribute
Oh,
teams based
dear.
on skill to try and create even balancing. It's a little bit different because we're a content creator event. But I imagine for the actual game itself, you're going to see people of all KDs and skill varieties, but, like, matched together in a way that's, like...
The one on the right
quite
is
balanced
past me
across
from
two
the event.
teams.
The one on
Like,
the
as
left
long
is
as the
currently
teams
from
themselves
London.
are, like, spread out in a way that's not unfair on one
Totally
team or the
normal
other, I think
names.
that'll be
Bro, I walked past Handy J's car wash and oil change. I just started creasing, bro. I couldn't help it. I just started laughing. I was like, what do you mean Handy J's, bro?
Yeah, nice, got him.
Also, I'm going absolutely massive, chat. I'm the best in the business, bro. I don't want to hear it from no one. I'm letting them know. I said North America nearest airport, and I damn well meant it with my chest.
Really, really fast.
Why was I so wired? Why was I so wired at the event, bro? What? I had 5 hours sleep before this day. Oh, fuck. I haven't even spoken about it, dude. My jet lag in the US was ridiculous. Like, the first night was there. I landed at 2 o'clock, and I stayed awake till about 11 p.m., and I kept waking up at 4 a.m. Every single day, without fail, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Every day. I'd say I got about 5 hours sleep every day of that event. Which was really rough. Like, I basically just had to go to the gym and,
We're all
like,
capping
burn
them
some
nearly. Guys,
time.
we can pull this back.
There was a hot tub, though, at our hotel. And a swimming pool. So, you know, I've had...
Live on A, live on A,
Oh,
Benny.
gosh. Sorry, let me tell you something, fellas. The hangover that saw me on Friday morning,
Come on.
as I sat in the hot tub, was
Big.
truly generational.
No, I got shotgunned again. Everyone
I killed all on A. I've cleared A.
Let's go, baby.
Right, I'm gonna spawn up
Spawn
Benny.
elsewhere. Spawn elsewhere.
Like, I'm used to getting a solid 8 hours of sleep every night. I don't think I've had that in about 2 weeks now. So, I'm hoping I can correct that tonight. I'm going to try to go to bed at a very reasonable hour, maybe do a bit of reading.
Come on.
Go, 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 go.
After this footage, we're going to load up the game and start looking at settings. Because there are quite a few of them. My word, are there quite a few of them.
No, they didn't get it. They didn't get it. They can't do it. They can't do it.
Oh my god, dude.
They can't do shit.
Mate, we are clawing it back. It's only 100
Mate, I'm
tickets
going
left,
up
is
to
it?
Look how close we got this game,
They're
bro.
going for E. Heavy push on E.
I'm taking D.
No, they're going C as well. They're flooding all of them.
Oh, 2 on D.
Just push, just push. Come on, we got this.
Generational dehydration. Honestly, I think that is part of the equation. And I think genuinely today, Turbo, I'm just going to keep downing water all day. Because I think, like, a combination of sweating more, being generally dehydrated from the traveling, and also just the fact that AC is just assaulting you endlessly in Los Angeles. Genuinely, I think, like, just chalked my sleep off. Like, completely, bro.
One in the corner. 3 down.
Oh my god, that guy bounced.
One left.
In the corner, right side.
Oh, Chat. We have to talk about this whilst you watch this comeback, which was generational. I'm in the airport with Westy and Tomo and Stod, and we're like, let's grab a coffee quickly before we go and sit down and do some chill, like, editing or whatever. Bro!
I'm resing you.
Bro!
Okay, we have to go.
We go to the till. There's a lady in front of us. She's got her, like, slightly elderly mother with her. And the man turns to her and says, those are your coffees. Do you have the loyalty app? I think it was a Starbucks. And normally, that's where the conversation ends. You go, no, I don't have it. See you later. Here's my purchase. Right? Instead, she proceeded on Airport 5G, which isn't great, by the way, to download the fucking app, sign up to the app, and then log in before buying her coffee. This entire process took about 15 minutes. And I did say it loudly, and quite frankly, I didn't care if they heard at that point. I said it very loudly, and I said, if these two people don't hurry up, I'm going to off myself in front of them and change the trajectory of their lives. I said that about as loudly as I could to make sure it was heard. Right, and I literally got next to get to the purchase my coffee, and I looked at the guy, ordered my coffee, and said, "Are you taking the piss?" Like, I literally just said to him, "Are you taking the piss?" That was an insane comeback, by the way. Like, genuinely, look at the graph. Like, we win the game by like a handful of tickets. Look at the graph, dude. Look at the deficit that we overcame to win that. Like, that literally crosses over at the very end. Alright. Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna crash the fuck out. Like, the fact that, like, I literally... And bearing in mind, I got stopped... in the, US airport in LAX because I had to get a manual review of my film camera, which, by the way, I'd like to report that the TSA fucked it up and exposed all of the exposures to light. So thank you, TSA. You're so good at your jobs. But, like, honestly, the TSA isn't it. Now that I'm not going back to the States anytime soon, the TSA as an institution are fucking diabolical. They are, the United States Border Force are the worst people on planet Earth. Right? And if you work there, you should feel bad about it. How are you also shit at your jobs? Like, do you just, like, when you sign up to work there, do you collectively go, right, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm going to work at the TSA. Like, why are you all so bad at your jobs? Do you know what happened when I landed at Heathrow? I tapped my fucking passport on a machine, grabbed my bags, and I was out in 5 minutes. Instead, I've got to hear from Brad Bradlington, why are you in this country, bro? Why are you here? When are you leaving? If you don't leave in these days, I'm gonna fucking shoot your like, shut up, bro. Like, I'm not trying to stay. I'm trying to leave. Like, oh, man. Like, literally, I hand them a film camera, a fucking film camera, right? Which is transparent, right? So you could see the inside of the camera. And they had to call somebody over from security to check. This took about 45 minutes to an hour. I said it with chest. I said what I said, bro. Those guys are literally the worst. They're literally the worst people ever. Like, I don't know how they managed to do everything so poorly. Like, everybody else in the US who I met, except for the odd, what's the word I'm looking for? The odd, like, character, shall we say, in Los Angeles, because good God are there some NPCs there. Everybody else I met in the US, except for that woman with her coffee, and I hope she's having a terrible day wherever she is. Fantastic. Lovely people, genuinely fabulous people, conversational, want nothing more than to have a little chat with you here and there. I'm a Londoner. We are very antisocial. Good God, if you even look at us wrong, we are looking at you like you've shot our family. All right? Everybody I spoke to, I'd be in the queue having a little chat with people. There'd be people having a little conversation with you, asking you sort of how you're doing. Like, You know, lovely people, genuinely nice people. Everybody, right? My God. How is the Border Patrol so different? Like, you know, honestly, all of the US people I met, fantastic. Like, I genuinely couldn't sing any high. Like, we live in a very interesting world where there's lots of sensationalized news about Americans, what's going on in America. And that is true. Some of that stuff is happening. I'm not avoiding that. But, like, the actual people, lovely. Like, the people you speak to on a day-to-day basis, fabulous. Wonderful people. Good people. Happy to speak to them. So when you go into the country and it's like, right, here are 7 people who are going to treat on you like... Bearing in mind, one of the guys who went with us got pulled aside for 3 hours. You know? Anyways, right, Battlefield settings. I will go over these settings with you guys in a proper video. But let's get these done in. I will leave that where it is, but I will turn squad color to a brighter green. So this is the first thing that I change. I always change the color palette for more aggressive colors. Love that. Camera effects, motion blur, soldier HUD motion, camera shake, chromatic aberration. Crosshair is static, which is what you want. You don't want your crosshair bouncing around. Airports suck generally, though. That's all. We can all agree that all airports suck. Gatwick and Stansted, eat your heart out, mate. Worst in the world. Control vibration off, vibration intensity off. Tutorials off. Hints off, ping hints off, vault hints off. Mount hints off. Gameplay, right, so here's what we're talking about with the whole controller settings. Now, love to the guys over at Battlefield. My controller settings menu should be about 2 pages long. This is insane. Not only are there separate sections for the gunner, like, what? Like, why are there separate settings for all of this? There are too many settings. Y'all gotta chill. We're doing too much. So essentially, like, your gameplay settings are your keyboard and mouse settings, right? And all of this is... Some of this does apply to controller, but some of it doesn't. Like, whatever. Okay. This is interesting as well. Like, it actually tells you your, like, sphere of circle, I think, when you're doing your sense. So, like, the actual controller settings, you have to go into edit presets if you want to change the layout, right? Which is mad. So I put everything on alternate. And then I normally... How do I flip? What is it? Alternate. So I change it to alternate. Alternate controls, and then custom keybinds for the buttons. And then all I do here is I flip. Well, I don't have the controller on me now, but I shoot and aim with L1 and R1 instead of L2 and R2. So that's all I changed on that front. So essentially, you have to go through all of these presets and change the soldier preset to this. Then you have to change the vehicle preset also to alternate. There will be a video on this. You're not missing anything. So by default, all of the vehicles use your right stick for acceleration or like moving, or like right and left stick, which is not how any of them should work. You have to change all of these to alternate. Aircraft to alternate, you have to change ground vehicles to alternate, you have to change gunner to alternate. Like, all of them have to go to alternate, because no one in their right mind wants to... I think gunner and the other one can sort of stay... like... So transport... But this is what doesn't make sense, right? So aircraft and helicopters, alternate changes throttle up and down to L2 and R2 instead of being on the stick. But for transport, the default is L2 and R2 and it's not on the stick. Dice, explain! Dice, explain! And then on the helicopter, you have to change it to alternate to get the throttle again. Dice, explain! Dice, please! Criterion, please! What are we doing? And then, like, so you've done all the alternate stuff, which is what you want to do, because are you ever going to do, like, if any of you in your right mind do any vehicle where your right or left stick is your primary input, you're clinically insane. So please don't do that. Thank you for the prime, Uncle Nick. And then you've got to go to the controller settings. Because in the controller settings, there are now multiple different sections in terms of sensitivities. All of which have their own scaling. Your field of view, your uniform soldier aiming. Uniform soldier aiming coefficient, by the way, and this is a fun fact, starts at 133. Now, last I checked, the last time anybody played on a 4x3 monitor was about several thousand fucking years ago. So that instantly has to change to 178. Everybody should be doing that across all inputs. And then on top of that, so rather than giving you input curves and input acceleration, what Battlefield has opted to do is go, oh, your soldier input curve, do you want standard 2042, BFV, BF1 and BF4, BF3, BF Bad Company 2, BF Bad Company 1, or linear? Right. Dice. Dice, 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 dice. Criterion, dice. Motive. F-64 fire in the booth, bro. Charlie Sloth. Alright? I want linear, dynamic, standard, and that is it. That is all there needs to be. Okay? All there needs to be. The rest of this, you're doing too much. Alright? Now, the correct answer for this anyway is Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4. Because those are the ones that are actually let you shoot straight. And the correct answer for this is also Battlefield 1, and you want your acceleration around 70. I will do a full settings video later today, so don't worry. The input binding for slide just randomly disappears. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why, alright? It just does. Vehicle aim ratio. You need to leave. Vertical aim ratio is also an entirely separate setting. Infantry zoom aim sensitivity is an entirely separate setting. There are so many settings in this game. We're doing too much. Alright? We're doing way too much. And then on top of that, even when you've done all of this and you've thought to yourself, wow, I'm a smart guy. I've done everything I needed to do. Guess what? You've got to do it again for ground vehicles. You've got to do it exactly again for ground vehicles. The exact same settings. You have to replicate all of them for ground vehicles. Including uniform soldier aiming. And then on top of that, hold up, 16. So, by default, 9 out of 16 as a percentage is 56%. Okay? And by default, the settings for Battlefield use... Hold up. See, it's even taking me a while to figure out where the hell shit is, and I've played this game for maybe 20 hours. By default, the... Where is it hidden? The infantry vertical aim ratio is set to 48, right? Now, at 100%, your stick will move horizontally and vertically at the same amount. Okay? Because that's, you know, if you leave this at 100%, your stick, if you move it left and up, are going to do the same thing. You don't want that on a controller, because obviously you're playing on a 16:9 display, which has more horizontal space than it has vertical space, right? So to map the horizontal and vertical space directly to your analog stick, the vertical aim ratio needs to be different, right? They've put it at 48 by default, but 9 out of 16 as a percentage is actually 56%, so this should be 56. Not 48. Or 40, or whatever they had it on. Right? So, quick maths, you know, 2 plus 2 is 4, you know what I mean? What are we doing? A, these menus are fucking insane, right? This is literally my version of Sleep Paralysis Demon, right? I know this is still a work in progress, and I know that this is going to change because I've spoken to many people about it, but this is absolute lunacy. Separate tabs for all of this, right? Dice. All I want is one tab. I want one tab that is literally just this for infantry settings, and that should be copy-pasted across all of my controls for vehicles. And then if I click a button that says advanced, then you can give me separate settings for ground vehicles, separate settings for transport vehicles, separate settings for aircraft. Let me click a button. They shouldn't be there like that by default, right? There should just be a simple button that copies all of these settings over to my ground vehicles, because why would I want my aim sensitivity to be different in a gun to a vehicle? There are valid reasons for that, but most of us just want a unified experience across the board. Maybe in the future when I'm feeling a little bit fancy, I might increase my tank sense, right? But there should be a button for that. Not, I need to navigate 75 different menus to get that achieved. Respectfully, love to the people working on the game. This is a dog shit menu system. It is terrible. And we haven't even, like, by the way, we haven't even gotten to dead zones yet. We haven't even gotten to dead zones yet. Like, we've got uniform soldier aiming on. We haven't even gotten to, like, the dead zone situation, which is a whole separate, like, menu tab. So you've done your infantry controller settings. You've gone into edit settings. You've modified your control settings. You've done your FOV. You've done your zoom sense coefficient. And you've done your infantry stuff. Now you need to find where are your dead zones, right? You would assume that your dead zones would be under the aim tab, right? No, you would be wrong. You then have to go back out, and then I believe it's infantry control. Where is it, dude? It's like edit settings. Where are they? They're hidden somewhere else, aren't they? Controller tuning, which is buried at the bottom of the menu. If you want to do dead zones. Mr. Dice. Like, don't get me wrong, what they've done is fantastic, because they've actually given you fantastic numbers of options, right? Having this degree of customization, incredible, right? Having it split out in a menu system where all of your key settings are set into separate locations, it's fucking clinically insane. This is its own mini game. All right? I mean, there is gyro, that's great. You know? Map. 22 as dead zone by default, by the way, for axial. You never want your axial dead zones at 22. Okay? So, quick maths. The crazy thing to me, and this is the only thing that really annoys me, is that even if these settings were to stay the same, certain settings like, bloody, what is it? Here. Let me find it. Infantry control settings. God, just infantry binding settings. God. The fact that uniform soldier aiming is at 133 and not 178 is absolutely insane. Nobody plays on a 4x3 monitor. It should be 178. You can also do an FOV calculator, by the way. So let's say my screen is 27 inches. I'm sitting approximately 40 to 50 centimeters away. There is no curve on the monitor. It will give you what it thinks your FOV should be for racing games. Right? You can do another one for like FPS games as well to get like the correct FOV. So let's say I'm 30 centimeters away from a 27-inch screen. It's 16 by 9. It's a single screen. This is going to give you racing options, but there are options in other places to give you the FOV for what you should have for FPS games, but they're kind of quite similar. 115 FOV is about right. So I say for if you're sitting at a monitor, 115 FOV is about correct. So you just do a basic FOV calculator, like there are lots of places for it, like FOV calc. Screen ratio 16 by 9. My distance to the screen is about 30 centimeters. My screen is 27 inches. It's a single display. I always say it to Dirt Rally, 150. Bang. Ratio 56 to 1080p. It's nothing to do with the resolution of your display, swear. It's to do with the aspect ratio of your display. The aspect ratio of everyone's display, unless you're using specific equipment, is always going to be 16 by 9. Right? So that's why all of these settings are insane and completely wrong. Like, so completely wrong. Like, so if you're, let's say for example, if you are a, there are FOV calculators that do have curves. So if you're somebody who uses like a 37-inch display, you're 6 feet away from it. I don't know what that is in centimeters. Let's say 180, give or take. Something like that. Single screen, curved display. Like it will tell you roughly what it thinks your FOV should be for those various sim titles. So 16 by 9. And let's say it will tell you, like this will tell you your horizontal FOV versus your vertical FOV if you're confused what the difference is between the two. So, yeah. Basic FOV calculator. Very helpful. Would recommend. You don't want max FOV because max FOV will overdo it if you're a certain distance away. They have Battle Royale settings in there? Do they really? Should we have a little mosey? Go a little exploring, shall we? Extras. System. Oh, look at that! Creator mode and streamer mode for players that anyone can use. What a novel concept! What a novel concept! Activision! Look at how easy that is for anyone to use. Oh man, they're gonna call me a hater, bro. But, fuck it, I don't care at this point. Vertical sync is on by default, by the way. God damn. Turn off all motion. You really don't want that. Oh, by the way, look how cool these HUD settings are. So you can do the kill feed, you can do everything, you can change the minimap size, you can change the opacity, you can enable rotation or turn it off. You can do like the view distance in terms of like the size of it. You can have a dynamic minimap that will follow the direction that you're facing. Technologia! And then you can have like different HUD colors. You can turn off hints. Like, it's mad. Absolutely mad. But if they've truly caked it. And then on top of that, I believe if you keep going into the HUD, Technologia. We've got the Technologia. You can also change advanced HUD settings. Like they've caked it. I'm not gonna lie. Like they've done a really good job. Like they've the controller settings are a mess, but the fact that there are so many settings is fantastic. I'm probably going to go high dynamics for audio. Music I always scale down to like 50. Enemy voice chat turn off. Stereo balance is fine. But yeah, I'll have a whole video on this later to actually give you the detailed descriptions of what you should be using in Battlefield 6 and why you should be using them. Now, I'm not saying this to be a pick-me because I really don't like that. But I am going to say this with chest. Some of the settings videos I've seen online are, objectively, some of the worst settings videos I've ever seen for a video game. Like, please do not use them. Some of them don't even cover vertical aim ratio or cover some of the systems that we have spoken about in these settings. Like, they don't even talk about stuff like, you know, going into the controller settings, going into edit settings, and they don't even talk about uniform soldier aiming. They leave it at 133. They don't even talk about, like, some of them have, like, disabled infantry snap and infantry slowdown. Like, what? Like, some of them have, like, completely ignored vertical aim ratio and haven't touched it. Like, stuff like that is essential to getting your controller to feel good. Okay? Like, it's a necessity. An absolute necessity. So I will cover that in my video. Please do use it. Please do share it to everybody. Some of these settings will give you slightly different results. I will tell you which ones you should change in order to, you know, get a bit more responsiveness out of it. Like, for example, infantry aim sensitivity is something you're allowed to play around with a lot. You can change that a lot to try and make it more or less sensitive. Aiming left-right acceleration on BF1, if you put it more, will make you move left and right faster. If you put it about 70, I think that's the sweet spot. Lower makes you move left and right slower. Okay, so this isn't a pre-recorded thing, you dickhead. All right? I'm literally telling you I'm going to put a video out later today. All right? Just because I have access to things doesn't mean I'm a joke man like you. No, I'm just... So all of these are options that you have to go over, and I will be going over them. The video is coming out a little bit later today. I'll try and get it out for about 5 o'clock. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how shit is default? Like 9. Like, if you don't change it, it's gonna really, really bother you. So settings video is dropping a little bit later today. I think we're going to call it there for this stream. We've gone over some of the old footage. We've done a big Q&A. So, appreciate you all being here. There's lots of footage. If you missed the Q&A, you can go back and watch it. There's loads of footage surrounding it. And we will have the settings video live. I do need more rest, if I am being perfectly honest. I'm still kind of recovering from the travel. So, I will be dropping a video and just taking it easy today. So please do go check it out. I will see you in a little bit later. I will give you all of the settings. And I'll see you a little bit later on, guys. Catch you in a bit. Bye. Wait, hold up. Let me see if we can raid somebody. We're going to raid on YouTube. We're going to raid on YouTube. Just start to go on. All right, sweet.